Hi, welcome to Sentinel Comics, the role-playing game, Season 3. I'm Adam, and I'm going to be running this game. If you haven't checked out the hero creation, you can do that. If you haven't checked out the GM prep, you can do that, but that's mega spoilers heavy, so be careful with that. All right, now that we got our cast, let's get started. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Adam.
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
Great.
I'm ready to do an RPG.
Great. Everyone ready?
I'm ready to RPG. Oh, yeah?
All right.
I'm ready to do an RPG.
Let's just get right into it then. I have some things that I wrote for you, luckily.
Aww.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome to Peyton City, the jewel of the Midwest. While superhuman activity is not as prevalent as in Megalopolis or Rook City, Peyton is not without its problems. For decades, the city has been protected by its handful of heroes, and among their best was Rhyme, the Frozen Fury. Rhyme has been a defender of the city since the 60s against all manner of villainy, but ultimately the threats that claimed him were human ones, old age and illness. Now the city grieves at the loss of this hero, long past his prime, but no less loved. The services are being held in Hubert Park to accommodate the masses wishing to show their respect. It's a late summer day, and not especially hot, but just enough to make it a touch uncomfortable. Each of you is in attendance, as is most of the city. So I'm going to pass this off to Jen first to give a brief introduction about your hero. I want you to tell sort of who you are, what you look like for anyone at home, and also are you there in costume or not? And like what is your place in this funeral?
Okay. So I am playing Riley Callahan. I am in attendance at this funeral. I am not in costume because I am actually unknown to anyone in the crowd or anything like that. Rhyme is actually my father. So I am not in costume at all. I actually have kind of an interesting history with having a superhero family where I don't have superpowers. I was not born with superpowers. So growing up, I trained with my family. I trained with my dad, my mom, my twin brother, all of that. But I never had powers of my own. And so because of that, society tended to recognize my family more than they would recognize me, even though I was a very skilled athlete, I was good in school, all those kinds of things. So eventually I left, went to a new city, and I actually am highly trained in martial arts, including Muay Thai, Krav Maga, Aikido. I opened my own martial arts school. I teach self-defense for women, and I also train with military and like police officers and whatnot to help train them on like how to defend themselves against criminals on the streets, things like that. So I have very much stayed away from the hero life. So I am in attendance and I am not in costume because I'm not a hero.
You don't have a costume.
Yeah.
And Rhyme's secret identity was not public. None of the families were.
So this is the funeral for Rhyme.
This is the funeral for Rhyme. Yeah. Yep. As is the way of initiative, you get to choose who goes next.
Let's go with. I'm gonna go with Christopher.
Sure. I'm just an old man, actually. So yeah, EB, as he is known to most people, just by the name EB, is there in the funeral. He's wearing a nice suit. He doesn't have any sort of costume that he's wearing because he rarely does. And he is there to honor the memory of this great hero who protected the city and always stood up for goodness and justice and all that. And as a local entrepreneur, it is, of course, it's my honor to be here at this funeral in attendance. So. Do you need to know more about my character for that, or?
If you want the audience to know anything more about your character,
Sure. I mean, like, at this point, like because we did the character creation session, and but like, so yeah, my character is just a tailor, but a tailor to an extraordinary level where he can make costumes for heroes that are very beneficial to them, and so he is a man of peace and a man of cloth, but not a man of the cloth. That's a different thing. But he knows many of the local superheroes and is known to many of them, but not as a hero himself. Just as someone who is a side note in many of their stories.
But Ryan was someone that you knew personally.
Very well, yes. No, I knew Ryan and much of his family, and so this is a particular, like, in general, I attend hero funerals because, like, these are part of my extended family, my network of people that I care about and care for. But this one is a tough one because Ryan was a person that, like, has been around far longer than I have as in this hero arena.
Right.
So yeah.
Great. Who's next?
Maggie, what are you doing here at this? This funeral's not in a swamp.
No, this funeral's not in a swamp. So, I guess I should start. My doctor's name is Dr. Abigail Lightlith, and she's just there as a regular attendee. She knew of the superhero because she's from the city and she taught there for a number of years before having an unfortunate accident, which left her with some superhero powers. She's basically a plant-like being now, and that also gives her some superhero stuff. So she does look a little swampy, is I guess how Christopher would put it. But she is like a plus-size superhero, and she makes her own costume because she is made of plants, so she can make her costume out of plants, but that is not what she's wearing today because she's basically just out there being a normal citizen who's mourning the loss of someone that they grew up knowing this name in their household. She didn't grow up knowing the name in their household because she's not from here, but she grew up for 10 years when she taught and was at university here. She knew who this person was. So she's just there being like, this is a bummer. Yeah. And she's also trying to maintain part of her being a part of society. So she tries to go to some public events, but she's still very wary because her total outward appearance has changed. She used to be very active in her community as an activist for saving the planet, climate change, things like that. And now she looks very different, and she has these powers that she can't quite control. So she doesn't like to be in the public eye as much, but she still wants to maintain her humanity. So she still wants to be there and experience it. So you're up.
Sure. So I'm at the funeral as Evelyn Cross. So I'm Coda. No one knows that Evelyn Cross is Coda. And so Evelyn Cross is a kind of like a small-time kind of musician that goes around different bars and stuff like that in the kind of hip part of Payton City. And I wouldn't normally really go to hero funerals or be awake this early, but I know because I'm always up late. Like it's my job, both being a hero and
still be up.
Right, exactly. I might be awake really late, not up early. But I'm here because I know a bunch of other musicians, and there's a respectful choir or something like that for this funeral, and so I know people that are singing in there. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go whatever, this funeral or whatever. It's a thing, but it's a thing. I'll go support my friends and kind of do that kind of thing. So I'm there. So when I'm Evelyn Cross, I'm 5'10", and I have black hair that is shaved on one side and over to the side, and I kind of people kind of know who I am in that kind of scene. When I'm Coda, I'm shorter, 5'5", and very androgynous body type, and very hard, and have a complete
hard to identify.
I'm the most nondescript sort of being, because what I focus on doing is a lot of infiltration and figuring stuff out and solving problems to try to kind of repay my debt to society, basically. I want to make the world a better place.
Did I make your costume? Up to you. Either way is fine by me. I wouldn't necessarily know your secret identity even if I didn't make your costume.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, especially
I like that.
You seem to be a character that's shapeshifty.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would need a special costume for it.
So I can be I can look like any sort of human I want. Right. So.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
My secret identity is very important to me. That no one knows that Evelyn Cross and Coda are the same person.
Yep.
So
here's my question. Do I know?
No.
Okay, great. No problem. Either way.
All right. So before the service, a very large man that looks like this. He's glowing. He has
Normal guy.
some purple energy undulating over his whole body. He approaches you, Riley, and you recognize him immediately as one of your father's greatest foes, Ultraviolent. And he comes up to you and says, you know, your father and I never saw eye to eye. But things were different back then. The fights we had weren't as harsh as they do things now. I just wanted to let you know that I respected him as a foe and as a man. If I can do anything, please let me know. And he takes his seat on the other side of the other side of the aisle there.
Not unsettling at all. No, totally normal.
So Mayor Grant Clifton takes the podium and says some kind, if sterile, words about Rhyme. He announces with great pleasure that they will be dedicating a monument in the center of the park to the lifetime achievements of the lost hero. The service is about 20 minutes long and includes a blessing from the local bishop before performing the Eucharist. And near the end of the ceremony, not the story, near the end of the ceremony, you can all hear like some distant sounds of a little bit of a disturbance, like sounds of like a struggle, some shouting. So how do any of you react to that?
Is there a person in particular you want to start with?
Whoever would like to.
So
you can. You volunteered.
Oh, I sure did.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna pull out my fancy needle and fold space a little bit to try to get not to go there or anything, but just to try to like get more of okay, something's happening over there. I want to just get a little bit of a closer look here. Yeah.
Okay.
So just kind of do some remote viewing on that.
I go on Twitter to see if there's anything that people are tweeting about.
All right.
I get on a bench and I'm like, what's up? What's going on over there? Like, I don't have. I mean, I could do some things where I like make myself a little bit taller using plants or something like that, but it would be very obvious.
Could you ask the plants to tell you what's going on over there? Is that a thing? I don't know if you can do that or not. I don't know how you plant.
I have not determined. I guess I could potentially do that, but it seems a little strange. And also, like...
You seem a little strange.
You seem a little strange,
no, I seem very
Mr. Needleman.
I'm curious to see if what plants know. Like, if you ask a plant something, like, I feel like you may... Right, exactly. Like,
water,
is it raining?
Water, right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a
Is there a lawnmower?
no-go because they don't have, like, they're not...
Awareness.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure Adam's going to tell me it's a no-go. I can't be like, and now a mushroom sprouts right next to the scene, and what's going on?
I don't think you can see through plants.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll any sort of overcomer thing to... Okay,
no,
great.
No, not for this. Do you have any sort of reaction?
Well, it's really hard for me because I am near the front
You're right
of the
near the
crowd.
front, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
like,
the back.
there's
You're
not a
focused with
whole lot I can do, see
That's it.
anything, and, like, really my priority is if something's going to happen and something's going to be bad, I want to be up front near my dad's casket. Like, I don't want to be way over there and then something bad happens up front.
Do you have other family members at this funeral?
Not at this funeral.
Oh, okay. All right. Just curious.
Another funerals, yes. Not this one, though.
We
Yoinks.
double booked today.
Right.
So they were all at the other funeral.
So this guy, he's, without warning, the air suddenly grows cold.
I feel like there was some warning,
There's no warning.
but like
That wasn't warning
there was
for this. The air grows cold, like unnaturally cold, and a light snow begins to fall.
and this is summertime.
This is late summer. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Any of you can see there's this guy, he's panicking and fighting against police officers. He's clearly drunk and shouting things like, "You have to let me through. You don't understand. He was like a father to me." And the snow is starting to pick up more and more as he gets more and more upset.
Do I recognize him? Do I know who this guy is?
Yes, you recognize him.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Whiteout. He was a sidekick to Rhyme.
Sure.
In the early days.
Is he there in full costume?
He's there in
Very
full
drunk?
costume. Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to him. Just gonna like kind of quietly excuse myself from the funeral and just walk over to where this is happening. And an attempt to approach. I don't want to interfere with too much what's going on, but an attempt to approach and be like, young man, It's good to see you here. Let's calm down. Just calm down.
It doesn't seem like he's responding to calm voices. He's just getting more and more heightened, almost unnaturally. So
okay, I wanna just like. I'm going to attempt to get into close enough distance with him and grab, just like put my hand on his shoulder, but grab a pinch of the cloth of his shoulder and twist it in a way to try to pull the threads of it into almost like a thunder jacket for dogs. just try to calm down. But also the intent of this is a hinder to specifically be like, hey, I'm going to prevent you from doing things a little bit.
Okay.
To try to pull you together.
Great. So go ahead and tell me how you're doing that.
You don't have to answer this, but do you know who he is under the mask?
Would I know?
Yes, you would know that.
Okay,
Yeah.
since you know the thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know his real name also is Bert Harper.
Sure. Great. But I'm not gonna out him. I'm not gonna be like,
Right.
Bert, calm down.
Right.
He's like, but yeah. So I am gonna just use my lightning calculator power of just looking at somebody in a situation and summing it up very quickly. But my measure twice, cut once quality, and I'm in the green zone, and so I'm just gonna attempt to hinder him, but in a very friendly way. So I get a -2.
Okay.
He's bound at a -2.
You just want to say bound?
I mean, it's fine. It goes deeper than that.
Right. Okay. All right. He is at a -2.
Yeah. And my attempt here is to mainly to calm him, to quiet him, but also that if he does, the snow is already getting more, and if he were to explode with power, like, what if you don't? What if you don't? What if you don't? I'm just an old man.
Who would you like to go next? You have him, you have any of your other fellow heroes, and you also have the environment.
Pass it to ultraviolet. No.
Ultraviolet is not actually an actor right now, but
There's no takesies backsies. You said it. Everyone knows that.
yeah.
But Adam just said there's
It's
no
his turn. He blows up and kills everybody.
Yeah, that was really fast, guys.
Yep.
Well,
Thank you so much for playing.
Season 4.
So I'm going to pass it to the character that is the character here that is closest to the situation that's going on right now, which is Evelyn Cross, who I don't know you. I'm not passing it to you in any sort of no, you go, but you're at the back of the crowd. Yeah. You are as aware of this as you are of anything that's going on at the front of the funeral. So you see an old man walk up and pat a freaking out guy on the shoulder.
This is very much like I'm here as a civilian kind of thing. I'm just here to really watch what's going on right now.
Sure.
So if I'm going to ever do anything, I'm superhero-y. I'm going to want to hide and stuff like that. But before I do, I want to try to figure out a little bit more, just by looking at the situation, what's going on. Just I want to gain more insight, essentially, into exactly why he's so agitated. From here. So I'm kind of leaning against some sort of lighting rig and something like that, kind of back there checking Twitter. But I want to look over to the situation that's going on and see if there's anything that I can.
Can you give me an overcome for that?
Yeah. So I think that in fact, what I want to do is I want to base it on deduction specifically. Okay. Because I want to figure out if I can extrapolate what's going on. Okay. And I think I'll use deductions, which is D8, and then insight, which will be my quality, and then it's a D6 for breed. So this is an overcome. And I get a 6.
Okay, so that is a successfully minor twist?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you ascertain is that it seems like he is not being heightened by himself. It seems like every time something would calm him down, there are officers, there's this gentleman just stepped up to try and help him. Mm-hmm. Every time something would calm him down, people are trying to be understanding with him, it goes the opposite way.
Okay. Interesting.
So it seems like an unnatural escalation.
Right.
And that is going to advance the scene tracker on one here. Sure. And the snow is just starting to kick up just a little bit more. The winds are starting to affect everybody.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I think I will pass it over to, what is your character's name again?
Riley.
Riley. Good, Riley.
Oh, I'm trying to think about the best way to handle this situation.
By now you can hear shouting pretty clearly, and it's getting closer. Like by the time he got up to the police line, it's like the equivalent of the front of a church to the back of a church.
Yeah.
Like there's that many people right there, and then.
Yeah, I was gonna try to just like let this be a peaceful, like we just de-escalate him and it'll be fine. But if he is reacting quite the opposite way to that, then I feel like maybe, unfortunately, it's time to jump in with a little bit stronger.
A little bit of ultra violence.
A bit of ultra violence. I hate attacking him because he's a good guy, but so basically I think what needs to happen is I think he needs subdued in a physical way and removed from the situation.
Okay.
At this point, if he's not responding to like trying to talk him down, there's police there that are trying to calmly get him to de-escalate and whatnot, and you're basically saying like it's having the total opposite effect, then
Try to escalate.
let's see what happens if we just make things worse, I guess.
Okay.
What's the worst that could happen?
So, and I can,
I think
we build new characters.
or possibly like brought.
So
Those are
I
two options in this
will
situation.
go from where I am at the front, and I'm going to
That's true.
very quickly and agilely work my way through the crowd, probably finding ways to elevate up over so I can get around quicker. But I want to get around the crowd from the front back to where he is so that I can just get him into some sort of like a grapple or a hold or something so that I can just get control of him, and then we can just remove him from the situation, get him away from the crowd, get him into a smaller space, that kind of thing.
This immediate crowd
So-
is still enough that you can navigate it pretty easily.
Okay.
You can just get to there.
Okay, cool.
So I need an overcome for putting him in a grapple,
Okay.
and that'll do it.
Okay, so just do it as an overcome. So I will use, let's use agility for getting through the crowd, and then close combat.
Okay.
And then I'm in green, which is a D10. 4? Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to get back there, and you work your way through the crowd. You very quickly just put him in a hold, and so he is immobile as of right now. But a blast of cold comes off of him. What was your min die for that?
2.
2? Okay, so you have a -1 hindrance on yourself because you were chilled from him.
And like, I don't think that would be anything that would disturb like the officers or anything, because I've probably trained a few of them, so
Right, yeah.
No big deal.
If you've worked with them before,
Yeah.
they know you. Like,
They're just like, Riley's really good at stuff.
yeah,
they're like, yes, well, good job.
yeah. Yeah.
We're okay with vigilantism here in this city.
And he's struggling against, the blizzard is still kicking up more, but
Sure.
yeah. Are you giving it to him or
Do you have
the
a preference?
environment, or
Do you want him
From my previous knowledge of playing this game, if you pass it to the scene, it's probably better because then the scene can't pass it back after I'm done.
I mean, it can.
So-
There's 2 of them, so one could pass it back to you, and then they would still get to end cap it.
Yeah.
It is too late to
Because
make
he's
that
not an
strategic
active,
move.
right? I can't choose him as an active participant.
Yeah, you can.
yeah,
Can I?
You
choose
can. You
There are
can
two
choose
things.
him.
There are
Him,
2 things.
the
over there.
environment.
Sorry, ultra.
Yeah.
Sorry, my
Whiteout
bad.
and the scene
Right.
tracker are both still.
My bad. I was thinking of ultra-violent over there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if we give it here, and then it gives you a chance to react to whatever happens.
yeah.
Yeah. Paul wants this to escalate. He's
I mean,
like,
I think the point is, if you give it to him, he's not subdued. If you give it to
Right.
Maggie and she subdues him,
Maggie.
then he is subdued.
Could maybe simulate.
And I'd rather react to a thing that he does after subdued as opposed to before subdued.
I mean, it's your choice. Don't let these guys talk you into anything.
It's true.
Do that.
Okay. So I think at this point my mask has come on. So like I was towards the middle backish. I wasn't anywhere. I guess I was probably in the middle-ish. And so I was like, this seems kind of superhero-y. So I make my mask come up, but I'm still in my like street clothes because I'm not just gonna throw away a good cardigan.
So your skin gets the like planty stuff, and your mask grows on, but you're like, I'm still wearing this nice outfit.
Yeah,
Kinda, like,
this is a really good cardigan.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ditch this Target.
Right, totally.
So, anyways, and I
This is a brownie.
and I move closer, but I don't want to be right up on it because like I'm still very much in my street clothes that I'm not willing to take off, and I'm also like not exactly comfortable with the whole superhero thing. It's new to me and all this stuff, so I just like have some plants that shoot out, and like it's like where no one could see it. It's not like straight out in front of me. It's like down and around, and then like wraps it around his legs, wraps it around his
Going down between the feet of the crowd.
yeah, and so like so it wraps around all of them. So I'm like basically tying them up for you, but you can't really tell exactly where it's coming from.
What the? Okay.
Maybe it's that weird plant.
Just gonna go with this. It's fine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use plants and science to
Okay.
do it.
How are you using science?
So this is actually a thing that I'm struggling with. Plants is clearly right.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what the other one is. I guess I could use leadership because I'm taking charge, like I'm taking control of a situation, even though like I'm
I mean,
not
you're kind of
exactly
specifically
comfortable.
saying it. You're doing it in a way that nobody knows it's you.
Yeah,
that's
but
this is the opposite of leadership.
I know. Well, my other ones are hard. So I have criminal underworld, which I guess I could say that I recognize who this guy is, but that's
he's
a
not a
stretch.
criminal. He's
He's
a
not a
hero,
criminal,
yeah.
and also everyone recognizes who he is. He's
Right.
a hero. An activist, I guess it's because I care about my community.
I think that's probably the best one of those is the activist one. That
Okay.
like you feel compelled to do something about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use plants and activism. And then a
Carry my
d6.
dice in.
So d6 for my status, and then 2 d12s for plants and activist. 6?
Nice.
No, a 9.
9. Yeah. Yeah, so that's just a success. No downside to that. So yeah, he is completely you're holding on to him still, and then plants come from around his legs, and he is completely immobile.
Nice.
So you can speak with him now if you wish. He still looks really panicked, but he's not able to move.
Okay.
Is the snow still going?
Snow's still going.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then does it have to get passed to
Yeah.
him or the scene?
Your choice.
What is
You-
the-
You choose who you want to pass it
Do-
to.
So I'm going to pass it to him.
He will necessarily pass
Yeah.
it to the scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
It
super
doesn't
matter.
really
Yeah.
super matter.
Um,
But I figure maybe he might say some interesting things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says he seems to kind of like wake up, and he suddenly seems not drunk anymore.
Oh, fascinating.
And he says, "Where am I? What's going on? I don't know where I am." And he seems to be more panicked now, but like very much lower, lucid than to where he was. The scene progresses, and the snow has become like a full-on blizzard now.
Oh, so he's still doing that.
As far as you know. Yeah.
Interesting. So just as a rules clarification, since the first 2 boxes under green are checked off, does
We are
that
now in
mean
the
it's
yellow
yellow right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I
Yep.
was pretty sure was true.
Yeah.
Stop the
I'm gonna
blizzard.
say challenge is to stop the blizzard. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't let them make any more Diablo video games.
Right.
It's too late. They're making
Oh,
2
the-
right now at the same time.
New one.
Well, that's why we got
Pretty
3
rad.
overcomes to stop them.
I don't want to stop them really. But I don't want to stop them, but you do. It's
So
true.
we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's
for the greater good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go with Coda.
All right. So I'm still definitely. So I'm still Evelyn Cross. In fact, I don't have my costume here even. Like my costume's in my apartment. Like I don't
Carry it.
carry it around or
Right.
change into it. Like I do investigative stuff late at night sometimes.
Yeah.
And then otherwise I'm here. So I'm going to try to figure out what's going on without drawing any unusual attention to myself. Like I'm a normal human lady, right? So I'm going to look around, but what I've noticed in this whole situation, like I've been paying a lot of attention, and it definitely seems like there's some sort of outside influence potentially that was on Whiteout, if it's not still.
Yeah.
And what I want to figure out over the course of this entire subdual process, right? Where Whiteout seemed very freaked out and then was subdued by these other heroes that showed up. Is there anyone else around who looks like they are either controlling or having influence on here, who I can see from here, right? Who's within eye shot, right, of this situation? Like maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but I want to try to figure out if I can see a source.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So I figure I'll do an overcome. In this one, I'm going to do awareness as a D10.
Great.
Awareness and insight, and then it's a D8 because it's yellow now. All right. And my mid is a 7.
Okay. So you see up in the trees, like mostly hidden, a number of guys that look
Ooh, guys.
like this.
A number of guys.
Oh no.
Ooh,
Oh, that's normal looking stuff.
I love it.
There's 4 of those up in the trees.
They're just funeral
And
decorations.
they seem to be motioning like as though
very
they're
nice.
like pulling strings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Terrifying. Do they have a song? I feel like they should if they're married.
Do I have any ability to tell anyone or to communicate this
And there are 4
I mean,
of
this
them.
turn?
You're a person with a voice. Like you could say, look
Right,
up
that's
in
what
the
I'm saying.
trees. Yeah.
I'm just making sure in terms of like the amount of actions I have left in my turn, having like spent a lot of time looking around and figuring this out.
Yeah.
So,
I'll put this
Bagmen?
word. Yeah, these are bagmen.
So yeah, it's up to the GM, but you should have enough time.
Right,
to
exactly, yeah.
To yell out.
Yeah.
Up in the trees.
Pull him off here for
It's
now.
a jerk guy.
Well, I feel bad because I was sure it was.
yeah, so I'm
there.
going to shout over to the police and the other people that are near there, be like, hey, did you notice these guys? What's going on? Are they supposed to be there? Just like, I'm a normal human who noticed stuff.
Right.
Right? This seems weird.
Yeah.
Officers of the law and associates.
As your twist,
Yeah. I don't have a twist.
Yep, you got a 7.
you got a
have
7.
you do-
Yeah,
you have a
minus
You have a
twist,
7,
minus
minus
twist.
7.
Yeah, 4 through 7 is my
Okay,
twist.
cool.
Yeah.
8 plus is
plus is-
success, no problems.
Cool.
Yeah. There was a woman with a stroller that as the crowd is starting to panic,
Yeah.
You murdered her.
knocks her over, and the stroller has gone out into the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strollers.
Yeah. So
Oh, babies.
I was like,
That's why you get one of the bands that
Yeah,
like ties the baby
strap
onto you.
it down.
Right,
So then
yeah,
you don't have
those
there's no wheels. It
those
can't
are
roll.
super, super handy.
They are. They're really
Babies
the
aren't
best,
going to roll away in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really great.
Yeah.
No, they're seriously really good because then you could
strap it.
do stuff. Okay, runaway stroller.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's
Who do you
rolling
pass it
stuff.
to?
So I think I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, I have a plan.
Yeah.
I have a plan for
Yeah.
the runaway stroller, anyways.
Eats the baby.
Right.
Delicious.
Oh, is that not
You've
normal?
Stroller's not
I've
a
seen-
problem.
I'm not a monster.
Right.
I'm just green.
Right. I'm aware of you,
I'm just green. I'm not a
Not
monster.
easy being green,
It's
okay.
not
Yeah.
easy being
but
green.
I'm aware of you and your heroish activities. And so I'm like, if anyone can like solve the situation, you seem like very well suited to being able to solve this particular situation.
Thank you. Now I'm like,
vines and
Yellow
stuff.
zone, remember.
yeah, now I'm actually very like, nope, time to be a hero. There's no hiding this. This isn't just like a little bit of a situation. So I don't care anymore. And I like rip off my cardigan and I'm like, I'll find you later, buddy. I toss it up. It lands in a tree. It's safe. It's with one of my friends.
So, in case anyone's wondering right now, also, there are other heroes here, but there's enough chaos that's kicked up at this point that they're off helping other civilian
Yeah.
things going on. This is just what's relevant to you.
Right. So it's not like
So-
going terribly for the whole city because fortunately there's these other people there.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, so throw the cardigan up in the tree. It's safe. It's with my buddy. And I'm going to use, let me read this real
Who's your
fast.
buddy? Who's your buddy?
The tree.
Oh.
Duh. Actually, I think it's time that I do In Bloom to make a minion and have that minion do a thing.
Okay.
I was going to use vines to just reach out again, but let's flex those muscles, right?
Flex them vines.
Right.
So In Bloom, it says, oh wait, actually that one doesn't let me create a minion. Sorry. It lets me boost a minion. Which one lets me? Okay, sorry, it's make like a tree and split. So this is make like a tree. And because the way that I make minions is using part detachment. So I'm going to create a minion using plants, reference minion chart.
Yes.
And I haven't done this before. So
Okay.
I've had minions previously as other characters, but I didn't have the minion chart. So I need to find it.
The minion chart is it's at the part of the book where the minion maker archetype is.
Thank you. So I'm going to use plants and activism again because I care about what I'm doing. And I care about plants.
Will you ever not care about what you're doing?
Yes. I don't think you can use it as a catch-all for caring about what you're
Okay,
doing.
so could I use leadership now because
yeah,
I'm
you
like
can use
creating
leadership
a thing?
for this one,
Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
You're the leader of plants.
Right.
So you should have 2 sixes.
Because you're creating a minion.
Plant boss.
Yeah.
No, because we're in yellow, right? So I have
Oh, we're in the
D8.
yellow. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
So
3 twos.
Yeah, 3 twos.
Wow, 3 twos.
It's
Okay.
just insanely
so
average.
What does the minion chart say?
I make a D6 minion, small and limited.
Okay.
He
What would you like to call him?
his name is Mush. He's a mushroom.
Yes.
And you have to pick an action that he can do.
Okay.
You can pick. You can take. You can, this minion when you're making. He can attack. He can defend. He can overcome. He can boost. He can hinder. But only one of those things ever.
I want him to overcome.
He's an
because,
overcome
Yeah.
minion. Mushroom.
Okay.
Sure.
So when does he act?
At the start of your turn.
Okay. Does it say at the
Yes.
start of your, okay.
So at the start of each of your turns, first Mush will act, and then you will act.
Overcome mushroom. That's great.
Yeah.
That works out really well because he's trying to save the babies. You don't want it to be this like giant scary thing.
Yeah,
It's
I also-
cute and little and adorable.
I am unwilling to wait until it's the mushroom's turn. and to
Yeah,
deal
I
with the
know.
stroller in the
But
But the
street.
That's
mushroom
fair.
can do so many things.
Right, the mushroom
Yeah.
can put out some spores that maybe
a
stop the blizzard. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. I
pretty
pass
sure I do.
this. I'm going to pass it to Jen.
Hey,
Riley.
Okay.
To Riley.
What is
sorry.
your character's name? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh, so Floral Phantom is the
Floral Phantom.
like hero name. Yeah.
Right.
And you were Dr. Abigail. What was your last name?
Lightlith.
You never wrote Oh, like.
Is it
Okay.
Phantom?
What is it?
PH or
Light-
Phantom with
Is
an
it
F?
is floral and phantom both
They're both
with
spelled with
PhDs?
an F.
PhD
Both F's.
actually,
F's.
but
Oh yeah, but
sorry,
both with PhDs.
Right.
you did
Floral
it
Phantom
again,
PhD.
so I
It's
couldn't-
floral
I
phantom
could
with
not.
F's, but then
So
the
it's-
PhD is
it's-
also spelled with an F.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
it's with an F, so it's Floral Phantom, both with F's.
And then the PhD is
With
a
an F?
PH or an F.
It's a PH. And
FD.
then
Fire department.
Yeah.
and then my character's actual name is Abigail Lightlith.
Lightlith.
Yeah.
Sure. What was your last name? Riley?
Callahan.
Okay.
Callahan.
For what it's worth, you also know, like her father's name was also Riley Callahan, but spelled differently.
Sure.
It was,
Yeah.
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 Nice.
So you're a Junior.
Not quite.
Her father was EI and she's ILEY.
Sure. But like,
But sort of.
Junior.
Yeah.
That's usually not how
Sorry.
juniors work.
What was your? I'm sorry. I know you were Evelyn.
Evelyn Cross.
I'm just gonna write all these down now so I have them.
That's very cute.
Thank you.
But what's
If
your
you,
character's
if you
name?
want to show them,
EB.
you can put it there.
The letter E, the letter B.
E.
Which way is up?
The other way.
Other way
Yeah,
is
you
up.
can show people that. There's Maggie's mushroom.
I like its angry eyebrows.
Very cute.
He's here to help you, but he's real mad.
It was kind of like
this happened.
if Kirby swallowed a mushroom
Yeah.
and then turned it.
They got the hat.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Who is next?
Or
Did you
just
say-
pass
I
it
said,
to-
yeah,
you just pass
Riley.
it to
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So, in an attempt to stop the blizzard, I want to help stop the blizzard. But the way I want to do it is by trying to talk him down. So I guess it's an over. I guess that'd just be an overcome, right? Basically, what I want to do.
Just snap his
So I don't want to do that.
Do it. I'm just kidding.
Heroes.
We don't kill.
I do have
Yes.
the principle of chaos, but.
Oh, yeah.
I think that I like.
So I've got him in a hold, which means that I am close enough to him that I can talk to him without everybody hearing this. So I'm assuming he's probably figured out who I am by now, but just
Yeah.
in case, because
Yeah,
he
he
was in a
knows you.
weird daze, weird fog, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey, like Uncle B, what is going on? I don't understand. You got to help me here. I'm trying to help you, but things are getting really bad. You've got to get control over your powers. I know you're hurting. I know this is terrible.
Yeah, he says, I legitimately don't know. The last thing I remember was walking into the university, and I blacked out, and I'm here, and now everything's out of control, and I don't know how to handle it.
So does he know, like, is it him causing the blizzard, or, like, he would know if the blizzard is coming from his
He basically
power source
instigated it, and it's like a
taken
self-perpetuating cycle now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
But yeah, I will let you roll and overcome to try and like help him
kind of
do the
de-escalate down a little bit. See
de-escalate
if
it.
like I can help him get control of the
Right.
snow and the blizzard.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna use. Let's see, we're in the yellow, so it's gonna be a D8. That's nice and easy. I guess I'll use awareness. It's not agility, it's not leaping, it's not wall crawling, obviously, because
Yeah.
I'm right there. So I'm going to go ahead and just use awareness because I'm using the situation of the fact that, like, we know each other. We're obviously very close.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
So that gives me a D6. And then the quality's a little tough. It's not acrobatics, it's not close combat, so I'll just use my personal quality of unwilling hero. To try to, like...
Right, this isn't what you want to be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't really plan on having to...
Exactly.
I'm in a nice suit. I just wanted to be here and, like, grieve my dad and, like, move on with life. This isn't really where I want to be.
Right.
This should have been the police, and that's why I trained them and that kind of stuff. So we'll go with that. So that gives me a D8 as well.
What you got there?
6? This is not my die.
6 and 2 8s.
6 and 2 8s.
6 and 2 8s. Yeah, so mids and 8. So yeah, that's just a success.
Cool.
So yeah, you actually release him. I'm going to remove that.
Yeah.
You release him, and he starts focusing on the controlling the blizzard.
Cool.
Yeah. And it slows like it slows its building a little bit. So it's not as accelerating. It's not accelerating quite as fast. Yeah.
Cool.
Who's next?
Since that seemed to be working, like taking the like personal connection approach seemed to be working, I'm gonna go with EB and see if you can now de-escalate him in a similar fashion.
Yeah.
I might be able to, but I shan't.
Just so everyone knows, also he doesn't have his own turn anymore.
Right.
But the bagman.
Oh,
will.
bagman.
Bagsman.
The bagsman.
The bagsman. The bagsman.
Bagsman.
Yes.
Baggington.
So I am. So all this is happening, but I saw off to the side this stroller going into the street, and it's like, I'll return momentarily. You seem to have this under control. Great, you people with your outfits and your superpowers and all that, delightful. I'm going to go save a baby. So I'm just going to trot on over to there, grab the stroller, pull it out of the street. But this is specifically I have a specific overcome I'm using here because this here already, I came up to him, I talked to him. That was my goal there.
Yeah.
And the problem ended up being solved with violence. Not with combat, but with violence, with physically restraining a person, with tying them with the vines.
Yeah.
Like I'm not interested in violence. I'm not interested in this kind of altercation.
Right.
And so I'm specifically walking away from that to go pull a stroller out of the street because that's the purview of my field.
Yeah.
So I'd like to use the principle of peace to overcome a challenge with a specifically nonviolent approach. And that is, so I'm going to overcome this baby in the street.
Great.
I'm going to defeat this baby. Wait, hold on. No, not defeat. Is this a thing where like, the stroll's going to the street, somebody could just walk up and grab it, or does it seem more perilous than that? Is it more?
It seems more perilous. Like the streets are starting to get slick.
Sure.
Cars are starting to crash.
Sure.
There's a distinct danger to this baby.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Then what I'm going to do is actually, yes?
I'm curious how far north in the Midwest Peyton City is.
It's in Nebraska.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So people here are used to driving in the snow, but not in the summer.
But not
so they don't
suddenly,
have their
right.
They
Yeah.
don't have their snow chains on and their snow tires.
Well, also
Right.
there's snow awareness. Like
No,
the thing that
exactly.
happens
Of
where you
course.
flip over to
Right.
like, snow
And
comes.
also, if you live in Nebraska, you have snow tires that you put on your car
Depends on where Nebraska.
in the winter. Yeah.
In Peyton City, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Basically all of
yeah,
Nebraska.
I think
Nebraska's pretty.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm going to specifically, I see this baby's rolling out, and I'm going to specifically use that trick to pull my needle out and cut a rend in space to reach through that and grab the stroller and pull it so that
Yeah.
it gets momentum going the other way and goes across the street. So instead of having to go over there, I'm like,
Right.
I make a couple steps towards it, make a
Instead of being
subtle
an
tear.
old man bolting across the ice.
Right,
Like,
and also instead of being an
Yeah.
old man, like I take a couple steps away from this so that like people are paying attention to
Yeah.
all this and the bagman in the tree, and not the old man who just happens to be reaching through a rend in space that shouldn't happen.
Right.
So I'm going to do that with my telepathy, with my insight. Actually, with finesse. I'm going to use finesse to do this carefully. Insight would be better, but finesse is more accurate. So it's 3d8s, and I use the max. And max is an 8, so
Great.
there
Yeah.
we go.
Great.
And everyone records a hero point.
Great. The stroller is saved.
Yes,
Good
saving
job,
a
yeah.
baby. And then because I care about nonviolence, I care about pacifism, and I care about resolving situations as easily as possible, I'll pass it to the bagman.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Everyone else is active?
Yeah, all of us have.
So, where are each of you in relation to Whiteout? Who?
I'm still fairly near Whiteout. I'm standing near the lighting rig at the back of the
Okay.
this funeral.
Okay.
That I was so.
I'm near the trees that the bagmen are in, but like close enough to I can see and I know everything that's going on there, but maybe I can't exactly hear. If you're like whispering to him, I can't tell what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm a few steps away.
So one of them leaps from the tree and hits the ground near Whiteout and explodes, but not in fire, in strings. Strings,
I hate that
strings
image.
strings just go everywhere.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So,
Big
and that is a hinder against you three because you're in close
Sure.
enough proximity.
Yeah.
And so that is a -2, and you are strung up. Yeah. But he's gone.
Question for
Yes.
you. I forgot. I had a -1 hinder from holding him down.
Yes.
Did that go away when I released him?
Yes, and that's
You rolled for something on your last turn,
I rolled for an overcome.
and the -1 of the effect die would not have changed the effect of it, so
No,
you're fine.
yeah,
that's
you're
what
fine.
that's what gets rid
Right.
of that hinder is by
So,
using
yeah.
it.
So what did you roll?
I rolled a 6.
Great. So what I want to do actually, I want
Yeah.
to use my reaction.
Oh, okay.
My post-cognitive insight.
Yes.
So after an enemy rolls a die to take an action, but before using the result, I hinder it by rolling using just my post-cognition die.
Okay.
So that'll be against the -6.
Right, against the minus. Yeah.
Or against
Okay.
the 6.
Against the 6, right.
So
So
the
that's
6 becomes a...
A 5.
a 5.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
So then it doesn't change.
Doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
But that potentially could have
Correct,
been...
exactly.
Yeah,
There was quite a number of...
Yes.
Right. But one of them's
Result
gone. It just exploded in strings to hinder you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is a minus.
Oh, this is perfect.
One of them,
-2 strung up.
a second one leaps in to attack Riley. And attacks you for 4.
Okay.
What's up?
Well, I don't know if this would have mattered because I don't know if they qualify as close enemies.
I mean,
Yeah.
to leave it to attack you, it has to be
Yeah,
close
for
enemy.
it's
Okay.
it's slashing at you, so it is a close enemy.
It would have had, never mind, it would have had to go against the previous one. It's reflexive burst when you're attacked at close range for the first time in a scene. Attack all close
is the
enemy
first time you've been
targets
attacked?
Yes.
by
This is
rolling
the-
your single die.
This is the first attack against you.
Okay, so when the
Yeah.
guy came down, that
That's a
didn't
hinder.
qualify
That was a
as
hinder, right.
Yeah,
okay.
attack always means attack.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I will use reflexive burst. So attack all close enemy targets by rolling your single agility die, which is a D8.
Is this before or after the
It's
attack?
a reaction.
Okay, so you still
So-
take the 4 damage,
Yes.
and then you attack it for how much?
6.
6.
6. Rolls to defend and does not, so
Destroy it.
it is destroyed.
Nice.
So it comes down and slashes at you, and you take the hit in the arm, maybe get like a little bit of scrape, then you punch it and it just turns to a pile of cloth and strings.
And none of the other two are close enough to.
They're still in the tree.
Right.
Okay.
One of which is leaping out of the tree and bolting across the
That's another
park.
fabric word. Bolt.
running away.
Fabric man knows.
Yeah. The other is jumping down to attack you, Floral Phantom.
Do it.
6.
Okay. I'm gonna, in response, first I'm gonna
Take that damage.
yeah. So first I'm gonna do this.
You do have a defend one too, if you want.
Yeah, if you were going to use your out of sight
I don't know
reaction.
which reaction you want to
So
use.
there's out of sight or vicious vines. Vicious vines is kind of what Jen just did.
Mm-hmm.
I could defend with out of sight, or I could attack. And I think I want to attack.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to use vicious vines, which I have. It was the same one as reflective burst. I just renamed it.
Yeah.
So when attacked for the first time in a scene at close range, attack all close enemy targets, rolling a single.
Oh, that's right, because you
Power
two kept
die.
taking the same things.
Same thing.
Yeah, we did.
Intentionally.
Not intentionally, but
fine.
I'm gonna use plants to shoot out a bunch of vines and do some stuff.
Make yourself thorny.
Yeah.
We'll put our hands there.
Good
Well,
reflexes.
that's a good idea too.
No,
Maybe I'll change
That
the
ain't-
movement. Anyways,
Good reflexes.
I guess I could always
Right.
vary,
Yeah.
but
We just get consistent, the
Four.
same
Four.
reflexes.
Okay. It does defend.
It was bad on me for throwing it on the table.
I'm
So,
surprised that you took that risk.
It gets snagged on your thorns that you put out,
Yeah.
and parts of it unravel, and it seems to be like not holding itself together so well. It's
Hold yourself together, bagman.
right. The stitches are all loose, and yeah,
Bag of
and you can see inside, and there's nothing inside.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't like it.
Some
Yeah.
strings?
Ooh,
there's some strings, but most of the strings are holding it together. Yeah,
I don't like it.
yeah. The environment has its turn, and I'm going to roll the environment die pool.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Here you go, friend.
Eight.
I thought maybe I want one.
Okay, so that's not so bad. So yeah, a bus slips on the sides of the sides of the road, starts fishtailing down and crashes into a lamppost, falls over. There's about 18 people inside of that bus, and it has started to smoke.
Smoke is bad for your health.
Yeah.
Bus.
Bust. You should stop doing that.
Right.
I'm gonna give it
affect all of
to
those around you.
EB.
All right, quite good. So what I'm going to do is I see that the plant person here and the I'm not a hero person here
Big pride.
Not a hero. Literally.
are both they're both tied up with these strings. And well, I mean we're strung up. But I recognize you. Like when you came over to first put Whiteout in a headlock, I was like, kind of like, oh goodness, I don't know if this person knows who I am, but I certainly know who they are. With these strings around you, you've got all these strings that are on you that are a pain, and I am just gonna take a couple steps, grab a handful of the strings, twist them, pull out my needle, and put it right through the middle of them, and put my needle back away again. And you feel the strings that are on you go from like, these are a mess, to like coming around you and actually like being supportive. And that -2 that you have is now a +2, and is a bonus.
Very nice.
Because I was like, these things put strings on us to mess us up. Perfect. Like I can work with that. Yeah. So you now have a costume on. It's pretty makeshift.
A sort of strings that are just like tugging in
but
just
they
the right places.
Right, they went from being like this mess of strings that was constricting you to like this like lattice work of strings that are actually like supporting you and making you feel like a more able combatant.
It's the coolest way you could have gotten a suit.
So you are no longer strung up. Instead, you are +2 costumed, strung down.
I feel like that was supposed to sound really cool.
You are restrung.
Supposed to.
So that is what I do for my action. Is I make some minor alterations.
Nice. Very good. Who's next?
And now we're gonna pass it to Riley. I was like, Riley.
Yeah.
Guess you change a child, right?
Yes. Correct.
For observation. Got it.
Or someone who's like deep under the ground
Right, yeah.
collecting ores.
Oy, okay.
Someone who is deep under the ground changes the ore into a different ore.
Yeah, right. That is a
How
thing
far
that they
away
do.
is the crashed bus? Really far.
Yeah, you'd
me.
spend
I like
most
the
of your
minor
turn
It's
getting to
way
it,
over
I
there.
think.
All
Yeah.
right.
So
It's closer
This
to
is the kind of alternate
it's closer to
right?
Coda, it's closer to EB.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm right by Riley now because I.
Oh yeah, you,
I had
no,
to
you
move over
moved
to
down
Riley
there.
to-
So it's
to-
closer to Coda.
Well, Coda's not there.
Yeah. Coda's not there. It's Evelyn
Right.
Cross. See, I have two of these different ones.
So I
Closer
just,
to-
I just,
who it is.
it's
Closer to
that
Evelyn
really
Cross.
friendly
Now I'm
citizen
just
that
like-
keeps shouting out information.
Right.
Yeah.
I
It's
just did
really helpful
Yeah, I know.
citizen.
But I
He's
didn't
just
want to
very
look at the
observant.
wrong thing
Okay.
while it was sitting there. You know what I mean?
That's fair, yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out which is going to be a more imminent threat. Like the bagmen are very annoying, but they haven't caused us like great deals of harm.
Yeah, they're not
Whereas this
super
box
strong.
Versus-
looks like a.
There's a
and the
but
blizzard is
and
a big-
stop the blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem to have a particular rapport with
Yeah.
Whiteout.
Just talk them down.
Yeah, I guess I keep. Yeah,
I mean,
why not? I'm not a hero. I don't have to deal with a crashed bus and bagmen anyway. I'll just keep talking my buddy down.
Yeah.
What are your
it's
principles?
a pretty important thing. So
Principle of chaos and principle of the powerless.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out, like, principle of the powerless would be a great way to do it because it's the idea of I use my knowledge of the limitations of superpowers in an overcome action and use your max die.
Right, and you're also dealing with someone who has lost control of his powers.
Yeah.
Which I think is maybe something familiar to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would work. Okay, so because I am very familiar with the idea of self-control, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And so I have a very unique experiences with the idea of self-control and training and using hard work as opposed to just relying on having superpowers.
Yeah.
So I will go ahead and use my principle of the powerless to kind of help him overcome the fact that he's like, no, I feel out of control, I don't know what to do, and I just kind of help him like mentally like center himself and get through how to not rely on his powers, but to rely on himself to get control back. And in doing so, we will all gain a hero point. And then I will use awareness, unwilling hero. And we're in yellow still? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still in yellow.
8, 8, 6. I get to use, oh, thank goodness, I get to use my max die.
And you have a +2 from me.
Yeah. Whew. So that's a 6.
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Doesn't get you up out of the minor twist area.
Right.
But yeah, you talk him through it, and he focuses. He goes, "Okay, I can do this. I can do this," and manages to slow things down. Do you have a twist that you'd like to use, or would you like me to come up with one? Because you're using a principle.
Yeah. So minor twist. If you've got one, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm game. Let's
Okay.
see what you do.
There's a tree near the monument up near the front of the crowd that's started to split and is in danger of falling.
Okay.
And that could hurt a number of people if that falls down.
I don't think it's the same tree. They're not all the
It
same.
is. It's the
All
one that had the
trees-
all
cardigan
trees
on
are-
it.
aren't
Now
all
the
trees
branch
your
with the
friends?
cardigan is
All
slightly
trees are
closer to the ground.
friends.
Are you
This
saying
he's a jerk.
All trees are
like
one
this
tree.
tree.
Actually,
Some
yeah,
trees are
this,
nice.
this tree actually chose the specific time to cause a scene. Like, he just likes the drama, and I can tell. So I'm kind of like, this guy.
Yeah, come on,
Right.
Rick.
Pull it together. Yeah.
Who would you like to go next? You've gone.
You've gone. Yep.
I haven't gone.
And
And
you've
Evelyn
gone. That's
hasn't gone.
and that's it. Yeah.
Let's see what Evelyn can do.
Absolutely. So what I'm still now a lot of weird stuff is going on, and I'm still just as Evelyn, and so I want to look and just carefully observe the entire situation so that I'm always going to be more aware of and get more details about what's going in. So I'm going to use my careful observation ability, which is to boost myself using awareness, and use my max die, and the bonus is persistent and exclusive.
Okay.
So now my strung up will apply to that, to the roll. But I'm going to use awareness and insight and yellow zone, and then this has a -2 on it, and then creates a permanent exclusive boost.
Great.
So that's not very good. So it's not going to.
It's 0.
So it's going to be
That's
0.
nothing.
So I've used up my strung up, but it didn't actually create anything at all.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, what can I see?
See,
There's a lot of
There's
snow.
a lot of snow. Right.
You were more aware of the snow than you were before.
Right.
And you're less strung up.
It's true.
Well, then I'm going to full phantom. You're up.
So first, Mush the Overcomer is going to act.
Okay.
And so he is going to go over to the crashed bus and try and he's going to...
Is he gonna pep talk his tree friend?
No, the trees.
like-
Yeah. No.
Nah, bro.
No, he's
Too
too,
dramatic.
he's, so he's too, he's far too squishy to handle the tree, but he can definitely kick open a bus door or a window or something and start pulling people out.
That's amazing.
That's how physics works.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Mush in the situation to have to deal with Rick. I'm sorry. So anyway, so he's a D6. So he's going to try and open up a door to help people get out or a window or something.
Okay.
It's a 4.
A 4? Okay. Yeah. So you crash the window right in
With a mushroom.
with a mushroom.
He's a tough little dude.
Yeah. So people are starting to climb out, but it seems like doing that hurts some people inside that are going to need direct help to get out. So like you're not going to be able to use a mushroom to do it or plants or anything like that. Someone is
human
going to have to do that second. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So then I could make the choice to go do the tree or help out at the bus.
Or try to stop the blizzard.
Or try and stop the blizzard. But I feel like Riley's handling the
Or
blizzard.
deal with some bagmen.
Yeah. There's a lot of options on the table.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm saying.
You have a
Nice
bagman right in
GM
front of you.
provides so many
Also.
options.
I think that. I think that I'm going to use. Well. I think I'm going to create another minion. I'm going to make like a tree and split and create another minion to do some more work because there's like 3 different areas that need help. And no offense to Coda, but like because of where we're at in the scene, like they can't do a lot of actual heroing things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to make another minion.
Okay.
So create a minion using plants and leadership and a D8. 2.
2.
Do I make a minion?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are your little D6?
I make the same one. Another mush.
Another mush.
Another
I mean,
mush.
you could make another.
I mean, he's not gonna. He's.
It doesn't have to be another mushroom. You can make
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else.
It's
I like all
gonna.
these squat little
Yeah.
mushrooms.
It's gonna
flying around. That's like-
No, it's definitely gonna be.
Little lemmings, they just follow
It's gonna be another mush.
Mush 2.
I'm gonna think of a better name for it, but it's gonna be an attack one.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be a fighter.
Is this one named a room?
No. I'll think on it.
Oh,
Give me a second.
Oh, you got that.
The Overcomer, yeah.
You wrote that. So, yep. All right. Who is next? You can send it to the bagman or the environment. So I think that's
I
everyone's
think so.
gone, right? Yep.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna send it to the bagman.
All right. This little gentleman right in front of you is going to attack you again.
Incorrigible.
For 1. Yeah. You're going to react.
Oh, not that. Yeah, I am gonna react. So, I'm gonna use Vicious Vines again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that makes the most sense. So I'm gonna use Vicious Vines to attack again. Is the other guy close?
No, he's
Okay.
he's
He's up
running
the tree.
away.
He's running away.
He's
Okay.
splitting, Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So single power die. It's gonna be plants. And I roll an 8.
Okay. Yeah, he
guys
can
murdered Trevor?
possibly. Yeah.
You tried.
Yeah.
Bye.
He did his best.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
He just unravels and then falls to pieces.
Oh,
All the
sad.
yeah.
Good.
He looks very sad when he does it. They're like smiling like this, but his face goes.
That was his sad noise, sorry.
They don't speak except for it sounds like this one says why. Yeah.
You know what you did.
This one continues running,
Yeah.
and if he runs for another turn, then he'll get away.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the verge of escape.
Yep. Environment goes, and we're gonna roll the environment die pool again, and this time, wow, okay. Everyone takes 1 damage from the cold.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. That's cheers.
Rolled very poorly, so that's something. And then we're gonna go to. Just went. Let's go to Coda.
All right. So Evelyn sees that this bus is crashed and there's people in there that need help. Like the mushroom has broken the window. I'm like, I'm going to go help
Right.
at the bus. I'm just going to go help over there.
It's very cute. That
Get
this
these people
mushroom
out.
is trying to
Exactly.
help.
Like it helped some, but there needs to be a human here who can help these other humans.
Right.
And that's what I'm going to do. And so I am going to just use my intuition to figure out kind of the best way to get them out.
Okay.
And then self-discipline to kind of like, sure, I'm moving on there. So it's all D8s all the way down.
Okay.
Roll those just regular overcome.
And you have no more hinders on you.
Correct.
Okay.
And I get a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So you managed to evacuate the rest of the people from the bus.
Good.
In doing so, the bus kind of collapses. What's your min die?
Min die on there's a 4.
Okay, so you're going to take 4 damage because you actually like fall and get some glass and metal shards like ripping at you. It's not too bad, but you got all the people out.
Good.
So
Good. I'm glad.
yeah, and it is your turn. I mean to hand it off.
To pass it on.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go pass it over to Riley and see if she can finish
Blizzarding.
calming down the blizzard situation.
Whatever she wants to do. She doesn't have to do
Yeah, but I've noticed her doing that. So.
It's been fairly effective so far.
Yeah.
that.
I don't want to take damage again next turn if we can avoid it.
Or anyone else to take damage.
Yeah, the more this blizzard goes on, the more dangerous it gets. So.
I'm like, this dress wasn't the right attire. Should have changed my outfit. Could do it on the fly, probably won't. But
Yes.
I'm very big in aesthetics. I don't need your help, old man.
Wow.
Not if that.
Not very
Not if
kind.
that tree drops your cardigan though. Then it's over.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be sad.
If you roll poorly enough on overcome, you'll get the twist if your cardigan falls in the mud. So.
Right. Yeah.
Then maybe I'll talk to the old man again.
The bonus that you gave me, that was not like a persistent
One-time
bonus.
use.
Okay, cool.
Yep. The strings that the bagmen are made of are not very high quality threads.
Got some nice threads. What is your tailorship called?
EB's tailoring and alteration.
Oh, very nice.
I like that. It's very clean.
It's right-
Yeah,
it's right
I
by
guess
City Center.
unfortunately I'm just going to do another overcome. I'm just going to continue to coach him through being able to control this blizzard. Because at the moment I don't necessarily see another way for me to just stop it for him or anything like that. It's not so bad that I need to like knock him out or anything. He seems to have it under control.
Right. Or
So-
he seems to be getting it there.
Right. So I will just continue to do the overcome action to just talk him down. So again, I'll just use awareness, unwilling hero, and we are still in yellow? Yeah. Okay. Where did my d8s go?
Oh, I stole them.
That's okay. 6.
You have very coordinated dice here.
I can't see.
It's a 1, a 1, and a 5.
Wow. Okay.
So
that is either a failure or a success with a major twist.
I just made 2 boys. They're gonna do so many things. Let's do this.
I mean, like, do people care if I go for the major twist?
I think it'll make it more interesting.
I care. I think
Listen,
you should.
let's
Okay.
make good TV.
Just making sure.
I think we're all into it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
have a major twist?
Success with a major twist.
What are your
What are your principles say there?
So principle of chaos, major twist would be what has caused you to become predictable and stale. So, and then principle of the powerless, what more serious injury did you just suffer? Which seems like an easier one to fulfill. Plus,
Okay.
I did use principle of the powerless last time to try to talk him down.
Do you want to use either of those, or do you want me to come up with something?
I'm gonna ask the table here. Do you want him to come up with something and see
This
what
is your
happens?
choice.
Yeah.
This is your choice.
I think it's on you.
You choose whether or not it's a major twist, and you choose what to do with it. We are all going to be content with whatever you choose.
I do like seeing what's in Adam's mind.
I know.
but-
I want a glimpse into Adam's mind. Do it
Wow,
out. Major
so,
twist. Let's go.
Okay.
Speaking as the person who knows Adam the best here at this table, that was the wrong choice. No, I was kidding.
He
A
said
glimpse
we
into
know
Adam's
why.
mind.
I'm very curious to see where we go with this.
Okay.
Bring out more pretty dice.
Let me see here. Give me just a second. So you talk him through. You get him to stop the blizzard.
Yes.
Everything is fine with that. It stops snowing, but when that happens, there is the rush of collapsing air, and the blizzard implodes on itself, and a blast of freeze comes out of it, and shoots like a shockwave across the sides of buildings, and actually splits one in half. So an entire building is coming down over onto a
Good.
street.
Perfect. Just.
But there's no
So-
more
what I
blizzard.
planned
There's no
on.
more blizzard. Yes.
So like goal achieved.
And this is not going to be something that you think that you could probably stop this from falling.
Yeah.
So it's probably better to clear the area. But I'll leave that up to you. What you want to do?
Questions. What day of the week is this funeral happening on?
It is.
Is this
it
a
is-
business building full of people?
It is a Saturday,
Okay.
so it's not full of people.
It's only the cleaning crews.
And like anyone that would have been working there is out here anyway. But there's also a ton of people right in front of it. So
That's fine. I just
So there's definitely like
contain chaos. We just need to clear the space before it falls. We don't have to clear the space and save a bunch of people inside.
yeah.
You said this building was an orphanage?
yeah, it's a orphanage that's over full because of recent budget cuts.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And
They
it's
see Riley's
it's the Cancer Kid orphanage.
It's a cancer kid orphanage.
Right.
And also there's a cat
Why,
there's a
Riley?
cat
Why do you do
Right.
cafe in the
Right,
in the
cat
main
cafe
hall.
on the
Oh,
bottom
perfect.
floor,
Yeah.
and
No.
everything from there out is
No.
The
the,
cancer orphanage.
is the Cancer orphanage.
Yeah, and they just had the puppies brought in to cheer up the children. So
NBD.
Yeah, 2 puppies
really
per
sad
child.
It's a correct ratio.
Right.
Everyone knows that ratio.
They were trying to make these kids
for
excited.
cancer orphans.
yeah.
Cancer orphans who need 2 puppies.
Aw.
It doesn't make a difference.
Well, I'm upset. Let's keep
Yeah.
going.
Oh no, I'm so sad right now. Okay, so that was my turn.
Listen, it's great. You're doing good.
Who do you want to talk to? Did you haven't gotten yet this round?
No.
Okay.
No one has. She kicked it off,
Okay.
right?
No,
No,
you kicked
I'm
it
wrong.
off.
I kicked it off.
Yeah.
I win.
passed
Are we
it.
doing this convention?
Yes. Just
There we
put
go.
it face down so we know that you're
Very
done.
nice.
Yeah, so you have
Let's
Bagman, Environment,
Go
EB, or
with. Okay,
I think. I always have a plan, kinda.
You have a man in the
Floral
command.
Phantom
Always
has a plan and
If you have a
2
plan,
cute,
a man,
adorable
and a command.
minions that can
Yeah.
maybe do something.
Oh. So, Paul distracted me. Paul distracted
for
me.
it.
Okay. So,
so your minions go first.
my minions go first.
Yeah.
So Mush is gonna start being like, what's he gonna say? He's gonna be
Gonna
like,
say things?
Oh,
yeah.
they
He's just
speak?
like, but only a little bit. He's like, go. He'd only say like 1 or 2, go.
Yeah.
So
Is it
Mush,
comedically high voice or comedically low voice?
low.
Is this tiny little guy?
Go. I'd be like,
Not like a demon, more like a soothing, deep voice. Not like a demon. So Mush the Overcomer is going to try and start clearing, like he's just going to
Mush
start
the Overcomer.
clearing people.
okay.
So he goes first.
Still
2. Doesn't
Well.
do super good.
Can.
You can have a success with a major twist,
Up to you guys.
It's
Or,
never.
like,
It's net
or you can
incorrect.
fail.
What do you?
Do you
I
think?
don't know
seems
if
like
you
we
remember
could
have big-
last season I
it's-
played. It was just full of
It
major
seems
twists.
real big.
Do you think no one listens to Mush, Or do you think mush screws things up way bad?
Oh,
Telling people to go the wrong way.
no,
sorry.
mush.
I think no one listens to Mush.
Okay, that
So it's
probably makes more
it's just
sense,
a failure.
honestly.
He's just like tugging on people's sleeves, and they're like,
Oh,
"What the?"
No.
So to be fair,
Yeah.
so in general, like the rules for minions in general is that minions cannot succeed at the major
Oh,
twist.
okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
Cool. Well, so yeah, no one listens to him. They're like, "What?"
They even hear him.
Gross.
Right.
They're like, "Oh, it looks so gross, but cute." Poke, poke.
That's
so
good.
They
then.
touch it.
yeah, they do.
He
They're
accidentally
just like.
stepped on. He's getting kicked around. He's like, oh no.
He's like, no, go, no, go. And it's like the Pillsbury Doughboy. That's why they poke him. They're like, he's squishy. But he doesn't giggle. So then Fun Guy the Fighter is going to go. And this is what he looks like.
What is his name?
Fun Guy the Fighter.
He's upside down.
He's upside down again, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. And he is going to go after the bagman.
He's running after him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna try and tackle him.
Okay.
Just they could run.
3.
3. He does not defend.
So
Yeah.
he gets tackled,
Yeah.
tackle him like a sack, and like poof, all the air comes out and it's just flat.
So, yeah, so Fun Guy's there like going like,
Right.
with all the strings.
He tries to
Yeah.
yank
Yanking him
up
apart.
and
He's like,
instead he
Yeah.
starts taking strings out.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna go to the split tree and just with some vines try and like push it together.
Okay.
And kind of like do some
Reinforce it.
yeah. So plants for sure. And then I guess maybe I could say science because I know the structure of a tree and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is how I know how to reinforce it.
That's legit. Yeah.
And I am in the yellow.
You are a biologist, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
7.
7. Yeah, okay, so that is a success with a minor twist. So yeah, we're going to say that the vines go up the tree, reinforce it perfectly great, but it takes just a little bit extra of your focus. What was your min die? Do you remember?
Oh, it was a 2.
Okay, so you're gonna have a -1 because you have to focus so hard on getting this tree. So you just got to hinder. And do you want to give it to the environment or to Evie?
Evie.
Okay, sure. So I'm going to run over to the collapsing building, and I'm worried that there's going to be, as it's collapsing, rubble that's falling on these people. Like we can get these people evacuated. I'm sure that they're already like running and screaming and stuff. But the thing I'm worried about is that there's rubble is going to come off the building.
Yeah.
But I have 2 resources available to me. I have a needle that's
Yeah.
very good at sewing the thing I need sewn, and I
Yeah.
have a lot of garbagey burlap canvas around and threads.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to do is try to real quick pull together the remnants of a bunch of these bagmen and make an awning essentially.
Great.
Make this tarp awning so that any rocks that are falling off the building
Yeah.
aren't going to hit people.
Do it.
And I'm specifically doing an overcome that is related to my field of expertise because I'm not just like messing with somebody or making anything. I am sewing fabric together.
Right.
Like so. This is I get to use my max die for this.
Great. Everyone gets that hero point, right?
Everyone gets that hero point. I rolled 3 3s.
Wow.
I rolled 3 3s, so everyone gets that hero point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to succeed with a major twist or?
I do, but I have a major twist idea that is not
Okay.
exactly related to. It was only sort of related to my principles.
I will hear any major twist suggestions.
Sure. And it's just that like, okay, so I'm looking to make this thing out of
Yeah.
the remnants of these animated canvas string things.
Right.
Whoever made them, I want them to have some sort of like through line to what I'm doing. So like, not that they necessarily are controlling it, but the fact that I'm making this thing out of someone else's materials.
Cloth.
That whoever, if that's the thing that's relevant, if you think that works, I'm good with it. But like.
Yes. Yeah. You actually don't know how bad that
Right,
is,
so
which
that's-
is the best part of that.
That is one of the things
so-
that's like, okay, great, I make this awning, no big deal, but the fact that I've toyed with someone else's medium
Great.
might
Yep.
come back up.
Yeah. Perfect.
So no twist.
No twist.
That's
yeah.
great. No twist.
You
Love
just
it.
got off. That's
Oh,
fine.
I love it.
Yeah, easy.
That makes me feel
You
good.
just said the word medium, so you can put a commercial right here.
Yeah.
The mind reading party game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard that game? I
Oh
hear
my
that it's really
goodness.
good.
Available now in stores everywhere.
It's
Yeah,
true. It's
Specifically
true.
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the
By the
subtle
time
product
this goes
placement.
live, who knows if
Yeah.
that will be true?
It'll be true.
It
Unless
won't be
it's-
sold out.
It might be sold out.
It might be sold out. It'll be January.
We'll have to order more.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a terrible thing.
You can get it now.
Or from our
Okay.
website.
Or from your local game store.
So in putting yourself in danger also
Yeah.
in sewing this thing, you're
Yeah.
going to take 5 damage because a rock's going to hit you
Sure.
in doing this before you're
very
able
reasonable.
to
Yeah.
completely close it up.
Totally legit.
Right here.
Okay, so we're back to the top of the order. Floral Phantom, why don't you go first?
Okay, so I don't know that, like, I see what EB has done, but I don't know, like, the effects or anything. No one, like, there's no feeling in the air of, holy crap, something bigger's coming, right?
No.
There was no
There's,
twist.
there's nothing.
There was no twist.
To the
Okay,
best
just
of
making sure.
anyone's knowledge,
Right.
nothing bad has happened.
Right. I
Okay.
made an awning out of fabric, and life is good. We just got to get these people out of here.
Yep.
So Mush is still gonna try and be like, no, stop, go. So he's gonna try and go again because he's an overcomer,
No trample. Let's go.
and he's real bad at it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Nothing.
so nothing.
Please.
Someone steps on him.
Why hurt? So Fungi is an attacker, and there's nothing to attack. So he just doesn't go, is
Right.
what I would say, and I
Yeah.
just want to make sure that that's
mean,
accurate.
It's not that he doesn't go, it's that he does nothing.
yeah,
He
he's
can-
just like
He
he's
can
like
walk
juiced
around
up.
all he wants.
Yeah, he's juiced up and like ready to punch
Posture.
something.
Yeah.
Looking for more bagmen.
Yeah.
You can have him go punch Ultraviolet. I'm sure that'll go well.
Yeah.
He's
Just have
punching
him
rocks,
assault a villain that's
actually.
not
He's just
doing
punching
anything.
rocks that are falling. Anything that's falling, he's just like,
But he's very short, so it falls, it hits the ground, and he runs up and goes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And by rocks, she means like
Pebbles.
bitty pebbles.
Yeah.
okay, you underestimated him. He did take down a bagman. Thank you. I am going to just use, I guess I'm going to use like my vines to be like, hey people, move this way, and like maybe start like moving people that are moving slowly out of the way, which isn't, yeah, I'm going to like do an overcome to move people along.
Yeah.
None of my overcomes apply, like my principle of stealth and my principle of the lab don't apply to this, I don't think, so
Okay.
I think that that is the best move. So I'm going to use plants and leadership. And my mid is a 6.
Okay. So you can succeed with a minor twist.
Yeah, I think I want to. Yeah.
I don't think you have the option of failing on that, do you?
Nope.
Okay, yeah,
I don't think
okay.
so. Yeah. Yeah. So you are able to put up some plant barriers and edge people out a little bit, and get some of them out of the way in doing that, unfortunately, you've made it just a little bit difficult for anyone else to get close in here. So what was your min die on that?
Sorry, I moved them out too fast. I think it was a 7, a 5, and a 6.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 5.
Okay. So whoever is attempting this last one has a -2.
Great.
Because it's hard. It's
So
hard.
there's
to
a
get
minus
over.
2
Oh,
penalty. For
I
the
had a
next person.
-1 too.
So it means your 7 was a 6. So you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's fine.
So there's a -2 penalty to the next person that does that.
That does anything on that? Yeah.
Right.
I'm
If
gonna.
you give it to me, then I can make the situation better.
Okay, I'll pass it to
He's
you.
most equipped
Yeah,
to do
great.
so.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the fact that the situation is kind of unruly, that things are a little bit chaotic, and I'm going to bend that. And so because they're like, oh, the chaos that's happening, the people are doing things, everything kind of just wants to fall in its natural order. And if I can pull on the threads of this scene to make it so that the next person that attempts that gets a +2, that's what's going to happen. And so I do that.
Nice.
By using essentially the people that are milling around and all the chaos that's happening with the vines and everything. I've got this awning here. I'm just going to pull sections of it and tie it off in different ways to kind of encourage the crowd control to go in certain ways.
Great.
And so that whoever wants to finish this off gets a +2 to do so. Because I mess with rules.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Who's next?
That's how I don't fight. Riley, you're here. I think that you're a leader. I think that you are a leader who can overcome this situation in a public way and further your father's legacy. Hypothetically speaking.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so essentially what I want to do is I want to all of the police and everybody that were there originally to try to help subdue.
Why not?
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm just going to kind of help organize them, and we're just going to come up with a plan so that we can, as a group, make sure that we're getting people out of the way, helping control people, contain the chaos, and kind of order everyone into an area that we know is a safe distance, that kind of thing, because I can't do it alone, so if I can get other people's help, and we can all just kind of work together to do that.
Okay.
Man.
I just noticed you have wall crawling.
Yeah.
Not in the creepy way, though. In the
No.
agile way.
In a parkour way.
Yeah, you said you've got a D6 wall crawling. That's parkour.
Yeah.
Legit.
So again, I'm going to use awareness because I have to understand the situation. Like, there's the collapsing building here, there's vines there. Where do we send people? You know, how do we control the situation?
Yeah.
And then again, it's not acrobatics and it's not close combat, so I have to go with unwilling hero here because once again, like, not really what I wanted to be doing with my day, but sure, okay.
Right.
And oh, good, we're still in yellow. Thank goodness. It's a 2, and an 8.
Well. Okay. Do you want to succeed with a major twist?
No, you have a +2.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have a
It's a
plus
2,
two.
a 4, and
It's
an
a minor
8.
twist. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Because I give you a +2
All
for
right.
doing that thing.
But I thought it had a -2.
And
then
I
you just
turned that
canceled
-2 into a +2.
you turned it
I didn't
into- you
cancel
didn't
it.
cancel it
I
out.
flipped
You
it.
flipped it.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
He's a
I was
Yeah, yeah.
better.
It's the thing that I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I misunderstood.
Starblight used to have an ability like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't anymore,
If you,
though.
if you make the game...
Starblight had a
it's
different
easier for
ability
you
that
to
is more about
break the
absorbing
game.
other people's
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you managed to get everybody cleared away. The building comes down just right after everyone's clear.
Yeah.
Just crashes down, tears right through your awning.
I really hoped the awning was going to hold against
Yeah.
the entire
The entire building.
cancer orphanage.
Right. It actually pauses. It goes like.
Good.
Yeah. So cancer orphanage is gone.
Well, good. Nobody likes a cancer orphanage.
Right.
Wait.
But the
Wait.
cats, the puppies, and the kids are all safe.
Yeah, they're fine.
It's fine.
We got it.
Yeah.
We'll build a new building.
Yeah.
We'll rebuild.
Rebuild.
Peyton City.
So with that,
They're just used to it.
Whiteout collapses on the ground. And is just like, oh my god! I almost made a disaster out of everything.
I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't not a disaster.
Yeah.
But so many people could have died that. All of you kind of notice who was helping out here, like who stood up to do that. So everything has started to calm down. People are still a little bit panicky. There's a lot of people leaving hurriedly, but not so much rioting, not
Did the funeral
stampeding.
finish?
The funeral was almost finished as it was,
Okay.
and they were performing the Eucharist, and like they just cut that off basically before the end of it. But it was the dedication of the monument was done, and
I'm gonna go back over. EB goes back over to like the casket area to
Yeah.
like pay some respects.
okay.
So the casket's there. It's not just a memorial service. It's like
It
a...
is, yeah, it's like a viewing,
Okay.
yeah, and also,
Gross.
yeah.
I don't say
Yeah.
that loud enough for you to hear me. I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah. And Whiteout has collapsed to the ground, and but he's actually pulled his mask back, and is just like rubbing his eyes and
It's
trying
Bert Harper.
What?
I want to just kind of search around, like I'm here, kind of check it and everyone, but just kind of walk around and look. I want to see if I can find any more evidence of interest.
Yeah, it seems like all you can really find is there's like the burlap and string of the bagmen is just everywhere.
Were there any other like incidents that are very strange like that, like with more bagmen or with other things that are weird, like happening elsewhere that someone else dealt with?
It didn't seem like it. It seemed like they were dealing with side effects of the blizzard and like all of the sudden things going wrong as a result of that, and saving civilians, getting them out of the way. Like, it was definitely sort of an all hands on deck situation. There's heroes everywhere helping out. But there's not more than like a dozen so heroes in this city.
Right.
There's not that many here. So
What did Ultraviolet do during this?
he seemed to just kind of disappear.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's not here anymore.
That answered my question.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, so my little mushroom guys, they walk over to me, and like we all walk over to where the guy's like clearly having kind of a breakdown.
Yeah.
And Mush is gonna be like, it's okay. Like he's
Oh,
gonna hug
he
his
hugs
leg.
him?
He's gonna
Aw.
hug his leg. He's like, this
I'm
guy's,
sorry.
yeah.
He looks a little taken aback by that. He goes,
I'm just like, I'm sorry. He just feels really bad. He just wants you to know it's okay.
that's fine.
They have a mind of their own sometimes.
I'm so sorry. I can't believe that I did all that. I don't know what to say.
I think I say clearly there was something else at work here.
I just don't. I woke up and I was here and there was the blizzard and I don't know where I was before that. I just have these conflicting memories of the last 24 hours, and I remember staying at home, but I also remember going to a bar, and I remember getting a call, but I also remember not getting a call, and I went to the university, and I can't remember anything past there.
I'm like, the university. We should go check. I think we should go check that out. Or I should go check that out.
He's
at
obviously
least.
talking about Peyton City University, which is the big university in the city that everyone knows, right? Which is actually in the same direction that the bagmen were headed when they were fleeing. Yes, yeah,
How convenient.
Is this the university you used to teach at?
Yeah.
yeah.
Go Penguins.
Yeah, and you have some
Peyton City
familiarity.
Penguins?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I decided.
Evelyn, you have some familiarity with it also because you had a friend that worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else for that. Right. So, what would you like to do?
So after looking around, I want to like check out the university, but I want to do it as Coda at night.
Okay. It is late in the afternoon.
Right.
Like, so the sun's going down by this point.
Right. So like I would do it by myself as Coda at night, probably.
Okay.
At least to start out with. But I want to know if everyone else is doing first.
Like,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
I'm definitely going to go over there. I think I'm probably going to reabsorb my mushrooms into myself. That's how that works. I just decided. They like hug a leg.
Your children,
They
you're just like,
no,
"Oh."
no, they hug a leg and they just like reabsorb, and then they're one of those little guys. And like they don't pop back off, but like they don't die either.
I'm trying to
Well.
be great to make this not horrifying. I'm trying to make this adorable little thing
Oh,
just like
I think it's not that
warp
weird.
into your leg.
Yeah,
Maggie thinks it's not that weird.
I don't think
I
it's
think
that
that's
weird.
interesting instead of Megan's character that she
Yeah.
thinks that's not that weird. And that this is fine, but a funeral is
biology.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like seeing dead bodies. Ugh.
What do you think mushrooms come from?
I don't like seeing mushrooms absorbed by
Living
people's
bodies.
flesh.
Well, listen.
Right.
Do all of you talk at
Maggie's
all
like, "They're just
during
a
this
Yeah, I was-
at this time? Do any of you speak to each other? here?
I would specifically want to speak to Riley, but I'm also cautious that
Yeah.
Riley maybe doesn't want to speak to me.
Yeah, so that's what originally I was gonna talk to Ultraviolet, but
Yeah.
not around. So yeah, at this point, Bert's like, he's fine. He's kind of getting taken care of. Whatever. I am back focused on the fact that my father's funeral got cut off. There was total chaos.
Which is your
There
thing.
were superpowers everywhere, heroes, villains, just like this is everything that I left behind.
Everything
Like,
you don't want in life
and
is
it
coming to
all
a head.
just circled around this. This is a very hard day for me anyway, and I had left all this behind, and now I'm back. And not only am I back, I'm like literally in the middle of everything that I hate about this life. So yeah, I've worked my way back up to the casket. You know, on the way, I'm like trying to keep it together. Like I'm infuriated at everything, and so I'm just like I'm setting all of the like flowers and displays back up and like organizing the chairs and just working my way back up to the front to be like there's some semblance of I need to put this back
normalcy.
together. Like this is and eventually I make my way kind of back up to the casket there.
So as you're walking up there and you're like organizing things, I'm just standing there at the casket, but as you get close enough, Evie turns and is like, "You handled yourself very well out there. Your father would be proud."
Uh-oh.
But he says it very straight. He's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
She punches Evie.
Let's go for it.
I like
Go for it.
like legitimate like. There's a reason that I left, and like I'm all about self-control, and like so I'm obviously not going to violence you, but I'm just very annoyed. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, my father would be real proud that his legacy is he can't even have a peaceful funeral. This is his legacy. Yeah, this is the world they lived in. Yep, very proud. And I'm just I'm internal rage is just up at like level 12. But I will ask you, like, do you know anything? I know you're connected. Do you know anything about what happened here, why this happened?
There were some people acting as heroes here that I have seen before, and some that I haven't. It's a shame to see that poor Bert got into the trouble that he did. I'm not sure what caused that, and I'm very curious, and it might be worth looking into. You have some family connections with Bert. But the creatures made of cloth and string are not ones that I have any familiarity with, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
This is not something that you know either.
It's a new player.
These are not something your father ever fought, or the rest of your family. Or...
Yeah, I was kind of hoping, because there was a relation to your skills and expertise, that maybe you would know more.
And in fact, the strings and cloth that I interacted with from those creatures did not hold any power or connection that I could detect. Not to say that it wasn't there, but by the time I got to them, they were simply strings and rags. Something more might be afoot here, but it's beyond my knowing. The cloth that I interact with usually stays put.
And I think at that point, like...
Usually.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And I, thank you for being there and trying to help with Bert and all that you did, but this is too much for me, and I'm going to take care of things, and then I now have to deal with like the family estate and all that kind of stuff, and so I go off into just like, I can't handle this, so I'm just going to focus on getting everything taken care of and cleaned up.
Sure.
And that's my focus for the day.
Well, before you go, Evie's like, well, I know you have a lot to handle. If there's anything that I can do to help, don't hesitate to reach out. Your father was a dear friend, and I would do anything in my power to assist you.
And thank you, and I appreciate that, and I know that you were very close to my family and that you assisted them in every way that you could, but this is the life that I left behind. I highly doubt there's anything that I will need.
Fair enough.
Okay. So you were going to investigate tonight.
Yes.
You were going to investigate tonight. Were you planning on doing so?
So I don't know anything about the university aspect of things. That was knowledge that other people had figured out.
You definitely heard him say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everyone heard him talk about it.
Sure. So yeah, I would go and I'd poke around there. So.
Yeah. And are you not going?
No, this is like, no, I now have to put all of these pieces back together, and I'm probably honestly going to take care of Bert and be like, let's make sure you don't cause another blizzard tonight.
Yeah.
It's been a hard day. Come on, buddy.
Okay. Yeah. He had taken him out for a drink.
Right. I was like, oh, wait, nope, don't do that.
Yeah, oh, shoot.
That's what started this.
Okay, well, you all arrive at the university at around the same time. You stagger in, but it's like this is a Saturday. It's pretty quiet to begin with. There's custodial staff, assumedly, but there's not going to be a lot of students on there. The school is dead silent on seeing it. The only thing is that looking at the building, both of you, actually you've probably been here before at some time or another.
Certainly. I've had
something just looks off about the building. Like something just looks weird.
So I'm definitely Coda now.
Yeah.
Do I know any of you as heroes, as Coda?
That's a good question.
We know each other.
Right.
Because I made your costume.
Right,
I probably don't know Evelyn Cross. And I was thinking about
Correct.
like, how do I not know Evelyn Cross and I know Coda? And it's because at some point when you needed a costume, you made yourself look different.
Correct. I made myself look like, have the dimensions. So like the costume fits Coda.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit Evelyn Cross anyway.
The costume was going to fit you whenever you shapeshift in anyway.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
So whatever you do,
Excellent.
the costume will fit you.
Cool.
So because like that's the thing is like, okay, powers, what are you doing? And like even without me knowing, I don't necessarily know that you're a shapeshifter. The needle knows that you're a shapeshifter.
Right, that's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So the costume is going to fit you, and it will do what you need.
But
to do.
I just definitely never looked like Evelyn Cross.
And so if I see you, like I know you.
Right.
But I'm also very, because I'm not in costume, I'm just this old man in a suit, but I'm also very aware of my client's need for privacy, so I'm not likely to run up and be like, oh, Coda, it's good to see you, but like, if I see you, I might give you a nod. And
especially like in a costume, like.
Yeah, no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I think I'm newer as a hero than you are.
Yeah.
Based on timelines that we've kind of discussed.
Like
already.
I go around, I poke around at night a lot all the time. So it'd be reasonable that I would interact with people.
Yeah. Like I've probably been a hero for a few months, and I feel like you've been a hero for
a few years.
A few years, yeah. And I'm also like not super public about it. Haven't really done that much, but I'm like trying to figure things out.
Right.
So you might have seen me, but I haven't seen you. It's probably true.
That's true of many people.
Yeah, I figured. And I'm now. And I'm just the doctor at the office. Like
okay.
no one's gonna stop me from going in and like looking around.
You look like this.
Because I look, well.
So no one who sees that is gonna stop that person. They're gonna be like, you do whatever you want.
That's what biology professors look like.
All of them.
Before I worked here, as we've discussed, I worked at the university and like
See this?
my superhero form is I have like green eyes, and I have like very pale skin, but it kind of looks greenish if you look at it in the wrong light or the right light, depending on what you're trying to do. And
I'm trying to see if someone has green skin.
And my hair is mostly black, but it's like a bad dye job because I'm trying to cover up the fact that my hair is now green, like bright green. So there's like splotchiness to it, but no one could tell. I have my hair up in a mussy bun. I'm like in jeans and a t-shirt, normal doctor outfit or whatever. But no one's gonna stop me because I worked here, or I'm on sabbatical from here.
Yeah.
So. I assume you have like an ID and whatnot that you go with you, so you just like.
And do you have a key to the
and-
building still?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still have that.
Good thing.
So I'm gonna
the
say
building looks off to me.
Yeah, it just looks a little bit weird.
Yeah. In the looking at the building, and I'm like, this just seems not quite right. There's something I'm missing here. I'm going to stand back from the building, and I'm going to look at it. I'm going to pull my needle out. I'm going to look through the eye of my needle at the building.
Oh, okay.
To see if I'm just going to do an overcome,
Yeah.
and you let me know if anything comes of that. But I just want to know if there's anything that I'm like, I'm not perceiving this quite right.
Yeah.
So I'm using the knowing needle. I'm using insight, and I'm using my stratus die.
Okay.
And I got a 9.
9. Okay. Yeah. So
And
you
I didn't
can
have a specific overcome. That was just my mid.
you can tell that the last time that that since the last time you saw this,
Yeah.
there's been no construction, because usually when there's construction on a building like this, people know about it.
Right.
But the structure of the building is different than last time you saw it.
The external structure?
The entire structure of the building
This is a
just
different
subtly,
building.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Huh.
it's built different than it
Tuck that
has
needle
ever
away
been.
and
Yep.
interesting.
Yep. So I'm going to say that you walk in first, right? And then you're probably off in the shadows.
Yeah,
You can
creeping in
see
the shadows,
see her walk in,
Right.
and you're standing back, and you
Yeah,
can
I'm looking at it.
yeah, you see her go in
Sure.
through there. When you walk in to the building, there's the giant emblazoned Panthers logo on the side.
Penguins.
Penguins.
Yeah, I said go Penguins.
Oh, didn't you? Well, I already
Does it
had
change
it.
your-
I
does it
already
change
had
your story?
had it written down. If you want to use a trade, you don't have any.
Panthers.
I already
Peyton City Panthers.
It's written right there. Peyton City Panthers. Had it already.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, he does actually have it written down.
Yeah.
He didn't catch it earlier when I said it. Dang. Okay.
No, I missed it, but yeah.
Sorry, Jen.
Sorry. Yeah. Giant logo, and like a plaque that's a nation's #1 biochem facility. It is dead silent inside, and you notice immediately that you come into this hall, and there's a couple halls. It's like a large entrance area, like most colleges have. There's a couple halls here. There's actually a hall that leads straight down that wasn't there before, and then one on the second floor that led away is not there. So you can tell immediately just from being here that the structure is different from last time you were in this building.
I think I go outside and look at the name of the building. I'm like, yeah, this is the right building. This is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess because I see that, there's part of me that wants to do an overcome to see if I notice anything else that's weird, and there's another part of me that's like, I should hide. There's something weird going on here. I should use some camo and kind of disguise myself a little bit, be a little less obvious in case there's a bad guy. But screw it. I'm just gonna try and find some evidence.
Okay.
And I guess I might use camo to look around a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use camo, and
You're sneaking.
I'm sneaking. Yeah. I don't know what I should use for that. I don't know what quality I should use for that. Leadership, criminal underworld, science, or activist.
I could say that you could use science for this because it's has to do with your job.
Okay.
I'd allow you to do that.
I'm at the same health as I was the last time we started, so
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
You haven't healed up at all.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. All right. So my mid is a 3.
It is a 3. Okay. Would you like to take a major twist and succeed, or would you like to fail?
I think I'll take a fail.
Okay. So you just look around and you don't see anything. It's just a little too quiet, and the structure is different.
Okay.
You feel like you know your way through these halls still. You know that this new hall leads down to the gym. Of course it does. It always has. But you don't know why you know that, because that's not where the gym has ever been.
You intellectually don't know that.
Right.
You instinctually know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like you have 2 memories of this building.
Okay.
So while you're doing this, I'm just gonna. So I looked at the thing. Seems like a different building. I'm just gonna walk down in there. I saw her walk in.
Yeah.
A couple of seconds later, I saw her walk back out. Look at the name of the building. Walk back in again. All right. Very strange.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna walk down in there, and doors open because unless you locked it behind you, and I'm just gonna begin roaming these halls. I don't know this building very well.
Right.
In the first place, I'd probably been in the school a couple of times. They might had me come in and do an
Sure.
adjunct thing at some point and teach a fiber arts class or something. But I've been in the school once or twice,
Yeah.
so I don't know it very well. So it doesn't necessarily feel, or do I still have this pervasive feeling of
You
wrongness?
still have that feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm aware that the building is different because the needle said so.
Right.
But I also have this
It's been long enough that it could be that they just changed it, but the needle has told you otherwise.
yeah. It's not quite right.
Right.
Okay. I want to see if I feel any sort of is there a place that the building wants to draw me in towards? Is there? I'm being very open. It's okay. So where am I going then? What's going on here?
Go ahead and give me an overcome for that.
Sure. Yeah. So with that, I am. I'm going to roll my 2d6. 2d6 plus 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 18. 18 plus 4 is 21. 21 plus 4 is 23. 23 plus 4 is 25. 25 plus 4 is 27. 27 plus 4 is 28. 28 plus 4 is 29. 29 plus 4 is 30. 30 plus 4 is 31. 31 plus 4 is 32. 32 plus 4 is 34. 34 plus 4 is 36. 36 plus 4 is 38. 38 plus 4 is 39. 39 plus 4 is 40. 40 plus 4 is 50. 50 plus 4 is 55. 55 plus 4 is 60. 60 plus 4 is 70. 70 plus 4 is 80. 80 plus 4 is 90. 90 plus 4 is 100. 100 plus 4 is 200. 200 plus 4 is 300. 300 plus 4 is 400. 400 plus 4 is 5 I'm actually gonna open up my mind a little bit. I am telepathic, just barely so. So I'm gonna open my mind up to see, and I'll go with insight on that as well. So, and my overcome is a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't feel led anywhere in particular,
Okay.
like to any one location.
Sure.
But you feel as though there's something here.
Oh, that the building is almost like built around a
That
thing.
there's something in the building.
Yeah.
And as you travel down one of these hallways, following your intuition,
Right.
you start to hear like some little scritching.
Little
Yeah,
scritching.
little scritching.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yep,
So while this is all kind of going on,
Hold on. Sorry. Do you need to talk about this minor twist, or are you?
I got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So all I want to do then is just use postcognition to try to figure out when this building changed.
Okay.
So like it looks weird to me, and it seems strange, and I can see like the history of what happened. So
Okay.
I've been in this campus before, and it didn't look strange then.
Yes.
What does it look like now?
Great.
So I'm gonna just use insight and postcognition, and then the green zone. There we go. So the mid is a 4.
Okay.
No, sorry, the mid is a 2. Never
Oh,
mind. So I
okay.
don't know.
That
was not a 1.
Do you want to fail or?
No, I'll
okay.
fail.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't want a major twist
No.
for looking around.
Nope.
Okay. We're gonna pan away real quick and go to Riley. What are you doing with Whiteout?
So it's.
Who is probably
I assume it's pretty late at night now. If we've had time for them to like.
also just to give you like some perspective on this.
Yeah.
He's probably about your age, also because he was like a kid sidekick
Okay.
to your dad back in the day. So
Um.
just so you know,
Calling him uncle pretty weird now.
it happens. He's probably a little bit older, like you know.
Yeah. So what time of night are we saying it is? Like.
It is probably 7 or 8.
7
I would
or
say
8.
it's dark, but
Okay.
well, in the
It's the
summer,
summertime.
it's the
So you're talking
summer.
about like
So
9 or 10 at that point.
yeah, so yeah, it's 9 or
Okay,
10.
cool.
Yeah, it's the summer.
So at this point, I think that by now he's probably very worn out from the
Yeah.
day. Like
He might be passed out on your couch.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like on the couch or he's in a guest room or something. Like he's just kind of done for the day.
Okay. I will say that he spent most of the time talking to you, guilt tripping you, also,
Perfect.
and being like, you know what, like, I saw you out there and you had just incredible abilities, and you should be on the front lines with the rest of us.
Yeah. So we had a nice little heart-to-heart. Great.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like back and forth between like, no, this isn't. They were the heroes. I'm me, and I made a life for myself, and I've proven that you don't need powers to, to be a success and all that kind of stuff. So he is probably, I'm going to say in a guest room.
Yeah.
Probably. Like, I'm nice enough that I'm not just like, hey, yeah, well, crash on the couch, you've had a rough day. Like,
Right.
so at this point, I think I'm kind of rummaging
Because your family has like an
through-
estate too. Like,
Right.
you're-
Yeah, it's a pretty big place.
It's not like you're in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they've got, it was a family with heroes, and so there's probably, there's
Yeah.
a secret lair, there's a lab, there's a whatever. It's a big place. So I want to kind of go through the house, and I'm just kind of rummaging through, like stuff's been set aside in boxes and all this kind of stuff, because now I have to take care of the estate. And so I'm going through things, but I'm actually trying to see if I can find any more information on ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet.
Yeah, and get a little bit more of like, what is the history there? What was going on? Could he have been the one behind this? Because of course he was there, and he couldn't just be there out of the goodness of his heart. So, what can I find?
Okay.
But I'm doing so, and I'm very leery of going anywhere near the lab or the training room. I just seeing what I can find elsewhere.
Okay. Give me an overcome for that.
Yeah, I guess it kind of has to be awareness, unwilling hero, and my health is still in green. That's a 2.
All right. Do you want to take a major twist?
Yikes. I'll suck at knowing stuff right now.
So bad
What if
at
you
rolling.
did though? How hard are you looking?
Probably pretty hard. Like I'm really internally conflicted because like I did not come back here to have to get drawn into a bunch of this drama, but also like this is my family and someone messed with, my dad's
Okay.
funeral and things like that, and I'm pretty angry about it.
Can you take the twist?
I want to find an answer. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Okay. So you find a lot of you like go through the trophy room a little bit and like see some of the things that the relics of the battles that your family had. But in the process of going through the boxes and all this, like you come across a photo album that has a picture of your entire family in costume, except for you, and you're not in the photo. And then you also come across a few other photos of your entire family out of costume with you in there. You also find a photo that looks like your father and Ultraviolent not in costume. And it seems like they were just like hanging out. And they both look older in it. But it looks like that they sort of became friends a little bit later in life.
Okay, so like while I was away, something happened and they created a friendship instead.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so many memories, so many emotions. Ouch. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
But you linger a little bit on the like you put it back in the box, but the box falls over and it falls back to the photo of your family in costume without you. I'll let you sit with that, and we'll come back to the other people. What are you guys doing? I'll let you pick who goes. Yeah.
Let's go. Goes back up. Let's go with Coda.
I want to climb up to the roof.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And it seems like I want to see, like, I look around and see what's going on.
Okay. So what sort of abilities do you have? Is that something you can?
So
probably
not really. So like I want to look for it. So I'm going to do that. I want
Yeah.
to look for a fire escape or something else. Like
Okay.
I'm moderately athletic, but other than that,
Okay. So you can
Yeah.
just get up there to
Okay.
to look. That's not a huge deal.
right? Okay. And I want to see
You're like scouting through the skylights
right
and all that
what the
stuff.
whole
yeah.
building is like if the whole. The whole thing seems weird, right? And I want to assess it from the outside before
Right.
I go inside and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind of figure out what's going on.
At a glance, you can see that there's skylights periodically across the entire building. There's also a camera system in
fantastic.
place.
Okay.
And it seems like there are cameras covering the entire perimeter of the school, and like if you peek down in there, they're lining all the halls and
Right.
everything. Yeah. So
Cool.
yeah.
So I'll look around and assess all of that kind of stuff. It's good to know about the cameras. So now I gotta plan future stuff. Do I see anything notable if I look down at all the skylights? Like, is there anything like moving in there? Anyone?
You see her.
Okay.
You don't see him.
Right.
He's in
Very
a
sneaky.
he's in a hallway without a skylight.
Right.
Currently.
That's how sneaky I am.
Yeah. Just went into one without a window on the roof.
You always have a plan.
Yeah. But you don't see anything else.
Awesome.
Who's next?
What are you gonna do?
So I am not the type of my character is not the type of person who is going to be like, yeah, guide me. Where do you want me to go? Building.
Yeah,
I'm like,
please tell me. Yeah.
I'm like, this is weird. I'm gonna go to my lab and maybe I can see something. Like, I probably have access to some of the security cams, so maybe I can like pull that up on my work computer and just be like, has anything weird happened in here in the last few days? Everything feels strange.
Yeah.
And I want to like go to my safe space. So I'm gonna go to my lab and pull up security cam footage.
Okay, so you go to your lab, and you're just on muscle memory. You go to open the door to your lab, and it's locked, and you look up, and it's not your lab. And you turn around, and your lab is across the hall, but this door is the office of a Professor Edward Saterland, and you don't know what this name is. You know all of the faculty here, but you've never heard of this guy.
Well, I'm breaking into that room.
Wow, that was quick.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, all of these things are, I'm thinking to myself, all of these things are weird. I've never heard of this guy before. My office was definitely here before. There's no way that all of that has changed. Something's weird. I'm breaking into this office.
Yeah.
And so I don't really have like a strength thing.
Okay.
I guess I could use plants to be like, my vines go out, like really tiny ones to like pick the lock.
Yeah, you want to try that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
So plants, science, because I know how locks work. I don't know. Does that work? Do you have a problem with that? I'm really thinking about the little guy from Harry Potter when I'm doing this. I'm like, I bet we could make this work. You know what I'm talking about? I don't remember his name, but he's a little creature and he picks locks and does stuff for one of the guys. So that's what I'm thinking of.
Are you talking about the new movie?
Yeah.
The little, the
Oh,
twig.
Yeah, the little twig.
Oh my gosh.
I can't remember his name. I know.
little twig
but like,
guy.
I'm pulling on pop culture references, and I'm like, I bet like I could do something like that. Just think really hard about it.
Yeah, are you making a minion to do this?
No,
Okay.
it's still me, but like the way that he worked the lock by himself, like I'm like, I bet
I'd say
you
you're
could
more
go.
likely to use criminal underworld
Okay.
for lock picking than you are for science.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then another D. Four.
4. Okay. Yeah. So you get a success with a minor twist. So you managed to get your little vines in there. You pick the lock. The door swings open, and as you scan the room, it is ransacked. Like everything is trashed everywhere, and you hear some scritching behind the desk. And we're gonna come back to you in just a second. Let me go over here.
I want to investigate the scritching that I heard.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I hear it coming from a particular way, or is it just kind of all around me?
No, it's coming from down the hall, just around the bend.
I'll proceed down the hall, just around the bend. Very casually, not...
You pop around that hall, and there is a custodial closet on the left.
Yeah.
And trying to get into that custodial closet is a bagman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's
yeah.
scratching the thing. He doesn't notice yet.
I'm going to call out to him.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, I'll be like,
Pardon me.
yep.
I don't. Pardon me.
He's like, what are you doing here? I saw some of your friends earlier today. I want to see if he reacts to my voice.
Are you actually doing that?
Yeah, for reals.
Okay.
No, I'm like, I wasn't kidding.
Okay. Yeah, he's bolting at you and attacking you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
6 damage to you.
Fantastic. I love
The
it.
bagmen always
I love
gold. That's really great.
Yeah, no, it is.
They nourish on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
like
But they're
bolt.
fabric. Right,
They
fabric.
bolt like fabric. Yeah.
Great. I assume I can't do a thing or take an action.
You can do a thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
We're gonna stay with you long enough to.
Sure.
for-
Yes. So what I'm going to do is, so it bolts at me and does a thing. So I am, and I'm just going to, as it attacks me, pull out my needle and run a thread through it real quick, just to try to change the situation here a bit. And I'm going to hinder it with a 5, so it has a -2.
Okay.
And in the process of doing so, the knowing needle imparts some health back
What
to
is
me.
that called?
The ability?
Your
The hinder.
penalty. Yeah.
It's stitched.
Okay.
So
So I think instead of trying to change the situation, trying to alter the situation.
it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
I go with cloth-based.
Yeah. That's like surface level. Come on.
But no, so I've taken one of those long threads of him and stitched it through him, so he's kind of like tied up in himself.
Oh, great.
And in the process of learning more about him, I gained some health as well. So that's good.
Excellent.
So I'm in combat now.
Okay. Let's go.
But I don't fight. I will not hurt him. Will not attack him.
That's fair.
All right.
The most peaceful character out of all of us is the only one currently in a fight.
I'm sorry that you're all slackers.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it. Let's go back to Coda real quick.
Do I have any sense, being on the building and things like that, of where the security room is, like where the camera footage would be kept?
Yeah, you would know where that is.
Because that's where I want to go. I don't know. Like,
Sure.
my intention is to go there
There's
and
obviously not a skylight into there.
Right, of course.
Right.
I want to go to the security office and, like, review the camera footage. That's, like, my intention. So, how long does that take? What kind of action should I take to get there? Like,
You can do one overcome to, flip down through a skylight, get through the building, and open the door.
okay, cool.
Like, stealth is your thing.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
You're used
It is,
to
it is,
doing
it
this.
is.
So,
that's excellent. So I'm gonna, I think I'll use deduction to see where figure out, where the security office is and stuff like that. And then self-discipline, definitely, I'm gonna, maneuver there very carefully. Right. And then I'm in the green zone. So this will be an overcome here. And I will get a 5.
okay. Yes, you have a
Success
minor
with a minor
twist.
twist.
Yeah. So you flip down there, get in there, close the door behind you,
Yeah.
start reviewing the footage, you start hearing scratching at your door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's, any, mice in this place.
Yeah, probably. Just real big mice.
Real loud.
Rats. Rats. Real big mice. Like
Yeah.
rats. Probably rats.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're also notorious for being rowdy. And
Yeah.
loud,
So you also have a bagman near your door. Is basically
Spoilers. We don't know that. It could be anything.
spoiling.
It could be rats.
I'm spoiling. So this is the one near Paul. This is the one near Chris.
All right.
There you go.
I'm gonna get a color too.
What?
What?
How do you know that? Maggie.
Yeah.
Floral Phantom, rather. Yeah.
So I think first I'm like, uh-oh, and I immediately mask.
Yeah.
It just goes up. I'm just like, whoop. Seems like this is a situation now.
What are you,
Yeah.
cardigan again? Or what are you?
T-shirt and jeans.
T-shirt and
t-shirt
jeans.
and jeans.
You
It's
think?
summer. I don't need a cardigan.
Yeah.
Now,
Outside
listen,
during the day.
I make my own life choices.
In the heat of the sun. Yeah.
But it's your, most responsible outfit?
So I'm a little cautious about showing my skin because I'm green. So I
you
wear a
wear a
cardigan.
t-shirt, 'cause a
No,
t-shirt's
I wear a
real
cardigan
skin
during
cover.
the day,
In public,
and at
right.
night I'm like,
At
it's
night,
fine,
sneaking
it's
into
dark.
your office.
Right.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm
Of course.
actually
No, I
glowing.
gotcha.
I just look a little
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
if you look too long. Anyways, so my mask is on, and I'm peeking around. I'm
Yeah.
looking around. So I'm just kind of taking stock of the situation. But I hear the noise,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, I guess I have to go over there. Seems like the thing to do. Batman.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one of those.
I see him, and
You see him before he sees you. He's rooting
You can
through
call out to
drawers.
him. That works really well.
um,
Good luck with it.
okay. I was just thinking, I could put up a defense, but I don't want to do that. I think I just want to attack him. I've seen this guy before. I've seen these guys before. There's not a chance that he's nice. So I'm gonna use plants and so I want to use basically that I know how he works now. So I'm gonna go with science because I understand his biology. I understand. That's what I'm well,
there is no biology.
That's
Science
what I'm
does
trying
not
to
apply
figure out.
this.
So I know how he works. Can I have a knowledge of him?
I don't think you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you understand the fact, though, that he is hollow. It is strings. If you pull him apart, he will unfold. He's
Sure.
not
Yeah.
going to be
So,
impervious
Maggie-
to everything you come up with.
Yeah,
I think so. Science isn't necessarily about knowing things; it's about discovering things. I think that you could take the exact same approach, which is say, "I want to know how he works."
Yeah.
Thus, science.
Let me take him apart.
Okay.
But you
Yeah.
don't know how he works because
Right.
how?
Because we fought him before.
But what do you know about him?
But if I fight someone, I don't know how the
Yeah.
I don't know how
this
the
is why I was
respiratory
asking the
system
question.
works.
So, because same thing with I could say, I mean, we got in a fight with him, so I have some knowledge of criminal underworld. There's some knowledge here. What type of knowledge is it? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Or there's some knowledge to be gained here.
Right,
What type of knowledge
there's
is
a
it?
prior experience.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's more poking and prodding
Okay.
situation.
Cool.
But
So-
yes, you can use science.
Cool. So I attack him.
What was the other one there?
It's an 11, a 6, and a 5.
Okay.
So when I attack him, and I'm just like using my vines to kind of stretch him apart.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you just take him to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Board Game Cafe in St. Louis, Missouri. Wow.
Wow.
What a great place.
What a
Full of
fantastic
fun games from all over, but
Yeah,
specifically
so-
St. Louis
Great
locals.
tales.
You get the vines in there, and it's like you played Cat's Cradle with his body. Just went like, and you have like the fabric on the outside, but then there's just like all the strings in between the vines, like suspended like that. Let's go back to Riley. How are you doing?
I'm good. Everything's fine.
Are you you feel guilty
There's
yet?
nothing going on that would make me feel terrible about any of this situation at all.
All right.
Okay, so at this point, I think between looking at photographs and everything else, I'm getting pretty riled up about the situation. So,
Riled up.
Oh, I see. Because that's her name.
So I have, I'm hanging out in the gym. I'm trying to get some of my anger out, but in the process, I pulled a computer in there with me, and I'm trying to research like any of the past fights, villains, everything, trying to find some sort of information on bagmen, since the direction of Ultraviolent is totally thrown me for a loop here. I don't know why they'd be friends now. So I'm just trying to like back search. I've got like an automated search going on that's just trying to pull any information about like bagmen, Ultraviolent, previous encounters that my family's had, since, you know, the media just is all over anything that my family does.
As far as you can tell, this is a completely new thing that no one has ever faced before.
There's nothing anywhere
You
about
find
it.
nothing on bagmen or sack people or stitched golems or anything
Nothing.
like that. Yeah.
If I find any more information that would tell me why the relationship between my father and Ultraviolent switched, like what event or anything like that.
It doesn't seem like, it seems like they fought a lot, especially through like the 90s.
Okay.
And then Ultraviolent went to like a super prison for a while and then got out. And then after that, he just wasn't very active as a villain. There was nothing that he did for a really long time. And it seems like maybe they became friends during that time, but it was not a very public thing. There was something private that your father had.
Okay. So I might. I'm gonna get dragged into this. All right. So I think at this point, I think she's tried to do everything she can to find information on her own that will satisfy something, and at this point, she can't find what she's looking for. And
Nothing.
so I'm going to make my way over to the university. I heard him talking about it earlier, and nothing I can find is giving me any information about any of this. So, fine, great.
It's been weighing on your mind. You're like, I'm not going to go to the university though.
I'm not doing it. I'm
You
not
find
doing
yourself on
it.
your phone. Is like, how distance to university? Why am I looking this up?
Right, yeah.
No way. Absolutely
Nope,
not.
not doing
There's
it.
no way I'm going to that university.
Yep. So yeah, all right.
So you're headed over that way.
I'm headed over to the
Are
university.
you driving? Do you have a motorcycle, like a real edge case?
How far? How far is my place from the university?
It's probably like a 15-minute drive or so. Like it's a Midwest city. Nothing's really
Okay.
farther than that at night. So
Or
15-minute
closer
drive.
than that. Next door neighbors, 15-minute drive.
yeah, yeah. Right. If you want to jog, it'll take you a long
You
time.
can get a lift.
Right. That's why I was trying to figure out if it was far enough that I'm just like
Yeah, it's a little
fit
too
of rage.
far
I
to
run
jog.
and I find myself at the university, but okay.
It's morning.
too far.
Half
Well,
an hour if you one of those motorized scooters that
Yeah.
you check out.
Right. Yeah. And I grab like a
Scooter.
lime or a bird and I just like my way over there. No, it's fine. Yeah, why not? She's got a motorcycle. That sounds great. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course she does.
Of course she does. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you're on your way over there.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to you guys over here.
Excellent.
So, let's go back to Coda.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep the doors locked behind me. Mm-hmm. There's a rat there. It's okay.
Right.
I'm gonna review the footage. I want to see if I can figure out what's going on.
Okay. So you see something very strange on this footage.
Okay.
You see, it seems like the tapes kind of like, it seems like someone almost took the tape and then recorded over the tape again. So there's like...
Like both at the same time. Not like you're trying to watch Frosty the Snowman and instead there's like a football game.
Instead there's a football game. Right. That's exactly the problem that happened.
Right. Yes.
Right.
If you were born in the 80s, you have this problem as a child.
It's like you're watching Frosty the Snowman and a football game at the same time.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting. Interesting.
But so like you'll see a hallway and you'll see like a half transparent person walk down it, or people overlap a little bit like that. And in one of those, you see Whiteout walk into the building, sort of stumble into the front of the building, collapse on the floor, and then, as if like lifted by strings like a marionette, stand back up like that, and turn around and walk out.
Oh, strange. Fascinating. All right. And do I see any other like unusual in either of the like sets of footage, layered sets of footage?
Mm-hmm.
Do I see any like people besides Whiteout? Any people or unusual activity, or is it just two sets of normal activity on top of each other?
So for most of it, you see like some other people just coming and going that look pretty normal, but it's just layered. And actually, you can see the old layout of the building on one set of footage.
Oh, so the layout is actually different.
Yeah. So like one hallway looks different than another hallway, and the footage is just in half like that. There also seems to be an area of the tape that some static moves through the building, like almost like a static field blob moves through the building. It kind of makes a patrol of the building. Walks to the gym and to the pool and to the labs and just like kind of walks all over and then leaves.
When it does so, does it seem to do so on both sets of overlapping footage or just on one?
That seems to be on both.
Interesting. So that's not blurry because it's on both things.
Right. But it's also blurry because it's static.
Right. Yes. Well, it's different blurry.
Yes.
The dreaded villain, white noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All of my villains are composite words of
white something.
Yeah, that's every character that I've made.
White snake.
Yes.
Coming up here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Chris.
Who would you like to go next?
It's a big
I want to see what happens with EB.
I've got a bagman here with me. Does it go first or do I go first? I mean, how are you wanting to?
You can go first.
This? Okay.
Yeah, I'm basically going to just like switch to one of you, do your turn, have anything else react.
Sure, cool. So I'm not going to punch this thing or anything like that because that's not within my skill set or my onus. So I've already hindered it.
Are you trying to subdue it in a way that's non-violent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to make a challenge for you?
I would love that.
I can make a challenge for you.
That would
it is within my purview as a GM.
That is true. I've heard that.
To construct a challenge.
Yes. And I would like, the thing is that I don't, the thing is, even if I were a punching man, I don't want to destroy this thing. We've destroyed plenty of these, and all we got out of that was thread and burlap.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, like, how is this thing animated? I'm quite good with a needle and thread, and I don't have this sort of ability. So, so I am going to attempt to, just like most times, if you see something that's handmade, that's hand-stitched, you get a feel for the person behind it stitching, just to see, how the lacing comes together and the level of the workmanship. So I want to try to carefully take apart a few key stitches. Now that I've stitched it in a way that it's like kind of bound to itself, I'm going to say, look, it'll probably get out of that in a second, but in the interim time, I'm going to use that to my advantage and try to learn more about this in a way that deconstructs it a bit.
Okay. Do an overcome for that.
Sure. Would you say that this is either an overcome directly related to my field of expertise or a nonviolent overcome?
I think either of those works.
Yeah, right. So I will use my needle, I will use my insight, and I am in the yellow zone. So I get a 6 for my max die, and everyone marks a hero point.
Excellent. So you mark off a success on there.
Yes.
And in doing so, what you learn is that there is no mastery behind the stitching.
Oh, interesting.
It is very, very amateurish.
Okay.
What seems significant about it is, the thing that seems the most significant about it is the thread.
Okay, so it's not the cloth, it's the thread.
Right. The cloth, it seems like just burlap.
Yeah.
Like it's just regular burlap.
Sure.
There's something that the thread is imbued with.
Okay.
That is creating this.
And it doesn't seem like the thread itself is even special.
Right.
Like the thread is just regular cotton thread.
Right.
Or whatever.
But it also seems like it's as though I tried to sew this thing. Like a complete amateur just did this thing. I know how to put thread through a needle, and I know.
You can wiggle your hand around.
I can wiggle my I can do this.
Yeah.
And I could make an approximation of this thing.
Sure.
But like it's not going to hold itself together. There's something
else is doing it.
There's something else there.
All right,
yeah.
Great. I'm well pleased.
All right.
Does it want to attack me or anything?
It does. Yes.
Okay. I'm fine with you moving on if you want.
Right. It does want to attack you.
Yeah.
It is -2 right now.
It does.
For the stitch, so it attacks you for 1.
I am fine with that.
Yeah. And that's gone. Muggles.
Yeah. So I am going to, much like him, I tried to kind of pull it apart and look inside, and I'm like, okay, this is nothing of interest. Part of me wants to look around the room still, but the bigger part of me wants to take a piece of the burlap and the thread and put it under a microscope and be like, what makes you alive? Okay. How do you make alive? So I'm going to use Principle of the Lab to try and do an overcome to get more knowledge about the creature. Because I'm operating under the idea that I don't know what you just told him. Also, you did say that the thread had something on it too.
Sure. But the Principle of the Lab, it doesn't say those things you said.
It says like overcome while in a familiar workspace. You
So
have
using tools.
ample research time.
Yeah.
So I think that that's the situation. It doesn't seem like there's more of them coming. I think that I have time to go into my lab and look under a microscope at this thing. I could be wrong.
In the midst of a fight.
I just killed it.
Yeah, she just.
Oh,
she killed hers.
I killed
it.
it.
So if it's
Right. I'll say you can use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use. So none of my powers work for this, really. I mean, I guess I could say.
If you don't have a power that applies, you can always use a D4.
Yeah, I wish I did, but I don't really think that any of these do unless I'm trying to do it stealthily, which doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? None of them really work for that. So this, and then science, and my health. Hopefully this goes well. Also, everyone gets a hero point.
You're all full up on hero points.
It is a 7. Yeah. Okay, so you are, you look at this thing, and there seems to be like at a very like I don't know, tiny level. What do they call it? Microscopic. Thank you. Words. At a microscopic level, there seems to be tiny golden fibers going through the thread. The burlap is normal. There's nothing with it. But these fibers seem to also disappear when you see them. It's like as you observe them, they dissipate.
Yep, and as a doctor in sciences, I know that.
Yeah. As a professor of all of the science,
I get that right away.
Yeah, your twist is that you're going to be looking at this for a little too long. So, like your next turn, you're gonna skip basically because you're focused on studying this thing.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
We're gonna do one more turn with both of you, and then you'll get there.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Yeah, so I just figured out some strange, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I want to take some of these tapes with me.
Okay.
So I want to like take some out so that like I'm gonna take these. These are good evidence for later to kind of like look at this weird static thing that's moving. Look at how it's like layered. Look at this specifically where whiteout comes in.
Yeah.
Are they like physical VHS tapes or like?
Or like big reels.
Yeah,
Like
they're just the giant.
Can you put it on a flash drive? Maybe?
You could probably put it
I'm
on a
just
flash
curious.
drive. I think it's a modern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a university. Maybe they haven't paid to update.
Maybe
it.
it's like they have like a rack of
Yeah.
drives. And,
Okay.
And you can just like
take some drives
unplug
out
the
of
drive
the computer. Yeah.
Solid state drives, so you can just toss them in a pocket whenever.
Perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Great. Well, I've got all these like pockets. and,
You
like,
also noticed the new office, and it's the only new office. The one that.
Oh,
she's-
really?
Yeah.
Okay, fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one office is new. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I'm gonna get a bunch of this evidence right here
Yeah.
and take them out with me.
That's good evidence.
Yeah.
So you're doing that and then opening the door.
No, I'm gonna go up to the skylight again.
Oh, you're going up the sky.
No, there's not a skylight in this
There's
room.
not a sky-
So yeah, no,
yeah.
I'll open the door.
Okay. Yeah, you get attacked by bagmen.
Ah, okay.
4.
Okay. So I take 4 damage.
Okay.
What you got?
I'm going to. So I figured out the thing that is holding this together is something special with the thread. So I'm going to try to, like, it just attacked me, it hit me for 1, whatever. And it's like it's flailing about and it's very aimless, chaotic, not very well put together. And it's got all these threads dangling from it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to reach out, grab one of those threads, tug
Yeah.
on it, find an end, and lace the knowing needle
Okay.
onto the thread, the knowing needle onto
Okay.
that thread, and pull on it to be like, okay, I want to see if the knowing needle can give me more
Okay.
about this thread. And that's an overcome related to specifically to my field of expertise. So, a 6 is my max.
A 6.
A 6.
So you are. Okay. So this thing is completely subdued
Hooray!
as a result. It is immobilized.
Right. It's not destroyed though.
Right.
Yeah.
And it can't do its threat explosion thing on you
Excellent.
because
I've got
Right,
it
you've got
essentially
it.
leashed.
Right. When you do this, you are kind of flooded with knowledge.
Yes, good.
Like too much knowledge.
Oh right, definitely.
You're
No,
like-
when I say yes, good, that was not EB talking. That was me, Christopher.
Yeah, you cannot process all of the things that it's showing you.
Right.
But there's like something incredibly significant about putting this thread through this needle. And it shows you kind of like the fabric of the universe and like how everything is like for one moment you understand how all of creation is constructed.
Yeah. And I have a heart attack and die forever.
It's just for a moment.
Make a new character.
yeah. Right, this time.
Right.
This time.
Right, it's just for a moment, and like you see all of the past and all of the future converge into one nexus.
Yeah.
And then all of that information dissipates from you, and you remember having seen it, but you don't remember any of it.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
That's for the best.
It sounds like not only do you see the fabric of the universe, you see the very fabric of the universe itself.
Yeah. There you go.
It's like that's
Right.
how deep it is.
The very fabric of the universe itself. Right.
Which Star Trek is that? No. This is the way you said it. It is.
And you understand that at this point that your needle is maybe a lot more important than you thought it was.
Sure. Which I already thought.
Right.
It was quite important.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is, you're like, oh, this is actually like a real big deal.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Crucial to everything.
And I've been for over a decade squandering it on the sewing of clothes for pajama-clad crime fighters.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Really nice pajamas.
So yeah, you're going to take a -2 to whatever your next action is.
Sure.
Because you're still kind of reeling from that, even though like it's gone in the same instance that it's there.
I'm
but
stunned. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm cosmically
Shook it,
stunned.
if you will.
Yeah.
I will not.
I
Right.
would.
Riley, you arrive now.
Yeah.
Pull up on your loudest motorcycle.
Right.
Right.
I'm being stealthy.
Oh no, there's no stealth there.
Kicking the door.
Right.
I like how it's a Harley. Just like really
Yeah.
aggressive.
It could have been a speedster. It could have been something different. It's not.
It's like a Ducati or a BMW.
It's
You don't want it to be a BMW. Those are.
Okay, this is not the important part of the story.
we have to go into motorcycle details. Just thinking about what she wants to do. Let's talk about motorcycles.
Remind me where, I know you're in the lab, you were up in like
security
a security area.
area,
Where were
yeah.
you?
I went down. There was a hallways that went deeper into the building, and
Okay.
there was a custodian
I'm
closet.
across
Something
from
that-
the weird room.
Something I forgot real quick is in your security cameras, you
Yeah.
can see where they are.
Oh,
also.
good. Okay, good.
Yes.
Excellent. That's kind of
I'm
an asset
fighting
next
a
turn.
bagman.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
you saw
Cool.
him do this to the bagman. You
Right.
saw her do that. Like you saw
Yeah.
all of
My
this, or
office
you
is
can
right next to
could
the
see it all
room
going.
that we all
yeah.
know is like, or me and you both know is like not
Right.
supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a plan. It's not like I ever thought I was going to end up out here anyway. So, yeah, like I hop off the bike and I walk over and I'm just like going for it. So straight to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Does it open? You know,
Yeah, it's open. You can just walk right in.
perfect.
Have you ever been here before?
Yeah, I would imagine I've been here. Not as much as, certainly not as much as Floral Phantom, but because, you know, my mom was, she had powers of like mental projection and whatever, but she also was very sciencey and
Yeah.
very
Oh, so
intelligent.
she probably
made
worked
all
with
of our
them a lot.
gadgets. She probably had some connections at the university.
Sure. Yeah. So
So
you
I'm
also
sure
noticed the building is off a little
been there,
bit.
but it's been years and years and years since I've been there, you know, and I didn't exactly go in there a lot
Right.
when I did.
You
So
didn't have
there's like
familiarity.
minor familiarity, but
Well, you're probably about as familiar as he is. So
okay.
yeah. You just don't have the advantage of a magic needle that you can look through.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everyone should get one of those. They're
Right.
great.
Yeah.
You got your know-how though. Your
Yeah.
wits and your know-how.
So I guess do I have the same weird feeling?
You
that
have the
things are
same weird
different?
feeling. You just can't put a tangible result to that feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of charge in the front door, work my way through.
There are signs leading to everywhere, so like if you wanted to go to a specific area, you can find it. But
There's a sign
Yeah.
that says, "This is where we make the bagmen."
yeah, there's a big sign
Yeah,
that
like
says
that
"Bagman
sign,
here."
please. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I
yeah.
follow that one? Yeah, I
Are you
don't
just
know.
like going
I
in and
really
shouting
don't-
like "Hello"?
Well, I mean, you could do kind of what Christopher did, where he was, or EB did, where he was like, "All right, weird building. Let's see what happens." And
Yeah.
Just wander.
I mean, that's kind of like I'm not sure that I have a set. I don't have a destination here in mind. I'm just going
just
on
kinda-
pure like
Okay.
instinct and rage, and I don't know what else to do. So I guess I'm at this university now.
Give me an overcome
Okay.
for just like feeling it out and looking around.
Yeah, I'd love to use my principle of chaos, but I think I'd need more of a specific. Because it's just to overcome a situation in a way which is truly unpredictable.
I
Use your
actually think
max
that that
die,
fits.
But like,
Yeah, you
I,
can use
You're
that.
here,
Right.
you shouldn't be here, and
Right.
you're just gonna go running randomly from room to room,
That's
going, "What
kind
the
of
heck?"
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds pretty chaotic.
Right.
All right.
It's funny because
I didn't know if I
believe you.
It's like a
needed
little
a.
chaos.
I
Yeah.
didn't know if I needed a specific situation.
Here's the
to-
thing. I believe you that your character is chaotic, but you picking Principle of Chaos for a character that you're going to play is hilarious to me.
Yeah, I know.
Because you're like, I've got a very, what's my ordered approach to being chaotic? It's like, Jen.
Yeah. Well, even your character, she's been very like, let's get things in order. Let's
Yeah.
find all the like. It's
But
very
yeah, it's
interesting.
Have you
and
met
it still,
Jen?
Like-
it still works. Like
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Is like it's interesting to have a chaotic character.
Right. Well,
It's coming
she's
across
built
as like
up-
keeping the
organized
chaos
chaos.
at bay
Right.
a little
she's,
bit. But yeah.
she's spent her life. She's kind of built up the idea of like of self-control and things like that. And so being in this situation of like everything that she doesn't want to be in, and I don't want to be a hero, but there's hero stuff going on and all
Yeah.
that kind of.
Cool. Yeah, so that definitely works.
Okay,
you,
cool.
You can use it.
So I'm in yellow, so D8. And then unwilling hero.
Mm-hmm.
Agility awareness.
I mean, awareness makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Awareness of what's in the building, like awareness of your surroundings.
Yeah, if you're looking for something, that's
Okay.
yeah.
Because I mean, I could almost explain that like these don't really fit, and I should just use a D4. Because I'm not. It's not like I'm not being very methodical about it.
No, but that's not
and
awareness
whatnot,
about. Awareness
so-
is about just like as you're looking around, you're keeping your eyes and your mind open. That's absolutely
Cool.
awareness.
Okay, I just didn't want to rely on it too hard.
You use your,
6, 7, 8.
So yeah.
yeah,
seven.
you use your max die.
Right, because I'm using my information.
Yeah. Right, so
Yep.
that's an 8.
No game.
So yeah,
Everybody,
you actually
everybody should be up in your points. You can get max
Yeah.
5 a session.
Yep.
you find your way to her.
Cool.
And so, like, you find the open lab, and the wrecked room here, and the suspended bagmen in
Yeah.
there, and yeah. So you just get right there, and you can address her now if you wish.
Okay, I didn't know
Also-
if I could keep going
may
or if you were
speak.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk to Floral Phantom and be like, what?
I'm gonna be like, how
Who?
did you
Why?
get in here? Didn't I lock the door? Like,
Yeah.
You
You did.
which I
Let
definitely
me tell you,
didn't do. But that's
the
like,
front door of the entire university was unlocked thanks to you.
but yeah, like that's like a very
I like the
my
idea that
character
there's
thing to
the
do.
university has a front door.
Yeah.
Like the university's one big building, it has a front door.
Yeah.
The whole
The
university.
whole
like the main-
university.
The main building.
The main building is where they keep the lab of a professor who's
Yes.
on sabbatical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway,
Security footage is
That's
still
a
on
big
tape.
main
It's
building.
fine.
Medical then.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna like. I assume I kind of aggressively burst in, and then I'm just like, what? Like, what are you doing here?
I
What
think
is
you like
happening?
shock me, and all of a sudden, like my outfit pops up. Like I wasn't wearing it before; I was just in my normal clothes.
Yeah.
And suddenly, I'm like, I'm like
Suddenly you're like,
shredded. I shredded my clothes. And I'm like,
Right.
So you just
Damn
have like
it.
a torn T-shirt and jeans
Right.
suspended over the stuff.
and I'm
remnants
Yeah.
of your
like-
shirt, and you're like, "That was
I like
my
how he's
favorite band
startled,
shirt."
like-
I was like, not again, God. But it's very like everything about me is very instinctual because like I'm not used to it, so I'm just like, oh mother
Yeah.
God. And I'm like, whoa, where did it come from? Also, and I think you're probably like, what is this? And I'm like, it had to I didn't mean to. I pulled too hard.
You're apologizing for tearing a bagman. Sorry.
I pulled too hard. It didn't work out. Because that's again, my character's like, I didn't necessarily mean to pull him entirely apart. It just happened.
Right.
Like, oops, too strong.
EB, you have wrap this guy up.
Yep. I've got a leash to him now.
Yeah. Do you have something you want to do?
Well, say, if I pull on the thread, will it like follow me? Can I just like, come on, bagman?
Yes, he won't act,
No.
but he'll walk.
Yeah.
Behind you, the custodial door opens.
Oh, good.
And like who looks like a student, like a younger kid, peeks out. He's like, "Is it gone?"
It's taken care of. Don't worry. Everything's fine.
God. Oh my God.
Tell me what happened.
I was so scared. I was just here doing a little extra credit on the weekend. And,
Very studious.
Just trying to get ahead, and I saw those things come after, and they tried to get into Professor Sederland's lab, and I tried to distract them, but they chased me in here, and I hid in the closet. And I didn't think I was ever getting out of there.
Well, I'm glad that you're safe.
Oh my
Who is
God.
this professor you mentioned again?
Oh my God, Professor Sederland. He's the history professor.
Oh, okay. Very well. Yeah, very well.
Oh God.
What was your name, young man?
Oh, my name's Eli.
Eli.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you so much. Oh my, thank you so much.
my pleasure.
We got to get out of here. Those things, those are scary.
Yes, don't look behind me at the one that's just hanging out there. He's fine.
Oh my God. Is that
It's been...
is that one of them?
Well, not anymore.
I don't get it.
I got it all too well, and I can tell you it's not worth it. I don't recommend it.
Okay. All right.
Thinks Christopher's a villain. He's like, ugh.
We need to make sure Professor Sederland's all right though.
Let's go to the office.
And he leads you there.
Yeah,
to where
please
they
show me.
are.
I have no idea where Professor Sederland's office, let alone who Professor Sederland is.
Yeah.
Now I know something's messed up at this university because the history department and the biology department are right
Are
there
across the street from
in
each
the
other.
same building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, it's the front door to the university.
it's the faculty offices.
Part of the
There's
villainous
whatever.
plot.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
The history professor has a lab. It's fine.
Yeah.
I follow Eli to
Yeah.
the office, bringing my new friend along with me.
Stop making that face.
Yeah. So yeah, he takes you there, and you see the two of them,
And you see me and the bagman.
and he walks into the office and is just like, "Oh my God, oh I hope he's okay. Oh jeez," and starts like rifling through things.
Keep rifling, Eli. Keep rifling. Good, good.
And he's like picking up a little bit,
Sure.
putting some things back.
Excellent.
But yeah.
I immediately run over to Bagman and I'm like poking and prodding and like,
Ah,
can you get it to open its mouth wider?
No, its mouth is stitched shut. But I did procure this one for our further examination.
Okay, so you were seeing.
Yeah. There's a bagman right there. Who
You're
attacked
fighting. You're
Right, there's the bagman there that attacked. Yeah,
me. Right, it attacked me. I'm not fighting it.
right.
I'm going to use an overcome to get myself out of immediate danger.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And
okay.
so I am going to just try to dodge it. I want to use like, I've seen kind of how they move, so and use intuition to just kind of figure out a good way
Sure.
to dodge it.
Yeah.
And also insight.
Those
And
are
then-
both dodgy things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then just like dodge around it. And I want to make my way to that lab
Okay.
office and get there. Get it so the thing isn't attacking me
Yeah.
immediately. Let's see.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Ooh, right.
Either.
6.
Yeah.
No, but it's a 10
I was
because I
saying
use
you
my
use your
max.
max, right.
Use my
Oh,
max.
yeah.
So it's a 10. I
Nice.
succeed.
10. Yeah. So you just evade this thing and
Yep.
hit, and you glance back and it's just puzzled. It's like
It was here a second ago. Now it's not here.
Yeah.
it looks disappointed a little bit.
Yeah.
And then and you're gone.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. So now I come up to the lab.
Yeah. You come up to the lab and you see him with one on a leash.
Hello.
And this student rifling through and picking up all the books and the things that are scattered about throughout the office. And
I have a bunch of tapes. So all these VHS tapes.
yeah,
I've got to be a chess player. This university is very out of date.
But like, and I explained like what I saw on the tapes. Like I saw this weird.
I have only had a decade or two of consciousness. What are those tapes? What are those things you're holding?
Yes. Even though you're the oldest, you don't know what they are
I'm
the most.
I'm the oldest, and I have no idea what
Yes,
a VHS
correct.
tape is.
I like that Coda just like enters this room and isn't like, why are these people here? Why is that thing? Just like information.
Yep,
dump.
information.
Hey,
I was
you all
watching
seem
the
like
video.
You need to know
Yeah.
this.
I've seen some of you around.
Seen enough,
You're-
yeah.
Yeah, this is
Right.
weird. You're
Yeah.
examining these things. I've got tapes about it. This is really weird. There was a staticky thing. Everything is
Yeah.
nuts.
Do we want to like look through the room where the kid's poking around, or like care about the fact that there's some weird kid here?
I mean, there's a history professor that's missing as well, which we should probably note. Maybe
Yeah.
look for.
Kids looking for the history professor. We're trying
Yeah.
to solve the problem of the bagman.
Yeah.
It's a good division of
So
labor.
I think I will share that I like looked at it under a thread, and the burlap sack's just normal. It's just regular old burlap, but that thread's really weird. You can see these things, and they're there one moment and gone the next, and you can't. I can't touch it. I can't take a further sample of it. It's too small, and it goes away too fast. And I'm like,
Yes.
this guy has seen some stuff.
yeah.
All this stuff.
So yeah, Eli finishes putting the books back on the shelf, and you can see like they're flush. So like it doesn't seem like any of the books are missing or anything. It
I
doesn't.
wasn't worried about books being missing
Well,
until you said that.
I was saying there's like
Now,
there is no indication that anything was taken from this room.
Sure.
Is my point.
It was just
Well,
a mess.
It's just
ransacked but not.
it's as though they were looking for something
Professor
that
Saderland was taken, though.
yeah.
We don't know that
maybe.
technically.
The
Maybe.
kid said.
No, he just said he was trying to break into the lab. He didn't say that the professor was in the lab.
Yeah, he said that the professor was here and that the kid had to distract him because they were chasing the professor.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what he said. I was there. You weren't there.
Yeah.
That's why you did.
sorry, you just didn't tell me the information the right way, I guess.
I was
That's all right.
watching.
Yeah, but yeah. So he there's not signs of a struggle either.
Sure.
It's just like ransack.
Dr. Plancelot. Is your name right?
Excuse me.
You're welcome. Can we leave this chap here locked in your office? My bagman friend here.
Yeah, I mean, it should be fine. No one
Right.
comes. No one should come in here. It's my lab only. It's not like it's the biology department's lab.
Perfect.
So it shouldn't. Like, are you sure that it's taken care of, or?
Reasonably confident.
I mean, the door locks pretty good,
Sounds
so I guess it's fine. They don't seem super smart. There's no sign of like intelligence, actually. So I'm
Bagman's in there going
down.
like, wow, cool.
Right here.
Nice, jeez.
Imagine your office being so much of a mess that it wouldn't matter if you lack a bagman in it.
Rude.
You
don't know
Just looking at your
anything
costume.
about me.
I think we know a lot about you. So if you have like a closet
You're
in
a
your office, so we can
professor,
just
you
shove it in the closet, close the door, put a
That's where I
chair.
keep all my VHS tapes.
Okay. But I think we might.
Put a chair under the.
We might, with Professor Sutherland having disappeared, it might be worth finding out. Are you familiar with this Professor Sutherland? You work here.
I've never heard of him. It's gonna sound crazy, but I swear that office wasn't there before.
That does sound
It
crazy.
wasn't on the. It was only on one of the two overlapping footages as well.
Did you,
Yeah.
Like it's
on
weird.
the footage, were you able to see, rewind it back and see Professor Sutherland being chased by these monsters like Eli mentioned?
You did not see that.
I did not know.
Oh, interesting. Well, you, who have seen the events of the past with your post-ignition, by which I mean VHS tapes,
Yes.
should ask Eli some questions to find out more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what I would recommend
That sounds good.
as a
Ask him
tailor.
Right. So
as he's putting everything away.
right. So I want to ask him just what he when he came here, what he saw, and we just want to get into some more detail about his story.
Yeah, he said that like he is a teaching assistant for Professor Sutherland. He helps him out,
Yeah.
and was here to do some extra credit.
Yeah.
And they came down this hallway, and he shouted at them and lured them the other way.
Yeah. What class do you TA for?
He TAs for advanced history.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What's your major?
His major is you made me think of all this stuff.
What's his major?
He's a history major. Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
fine.
That's good. What's
Yeah.
your what's particular focus? What kind of time period of history?
Ancient history, Egyptology is his
Oh, okay.
favorite.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Ancient
So,
history.
Yeah, Egypt.
The old one. Long time ago.
Specifies
Oldest history.
whatever the oldest history is of all the histories. That's the one I study.
I trust that kid.
The most historical one.
That's good. That's good. When was it
Yeah.
that you and Professor Sutherland came in here?
Sutherland.
Sutherland.
He's like, I never saw Professor Sutherland. I assumed he was already in his office.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
yeah,
I
that's
just-
what I mean.
So you just
Yeah.
came in.
He just saw them headed this way and
Yeah.
shouted.
And you were
yeah.
worried about it. Yeah.
Right.
How long have you been TAing for, Professor?
Probably about 6 months.
So when did Professor Sotheby start at the university?
This is Sutherland. He's been here for years. So
Okay,
like
just-
before I don't know.
curious.
Before I came here.
Interesting. Interesting.
Does he seem to know who I am?
Yeah, he knows. He like you don't know him, but he knows. He's seen you around.
right now you look weird.
Well, yeah, that's true. Sorry, but
Well, yeah, I guess.
so
He
yeah,
would-
never mind.
He would know whose lab that is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did Professor Southampton recently move into this office?
No, this has been here since I've been here. I don't know what's. Why you guys acted so weird?
Mostly because of the bagman.
Oh, well, that's a little weird. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like they were looking for something, and they came after me, and I don't know. Maybe they were looking for something in here, but I don't see anything missing. So, like, I'm a little worried because I know he kept a bunch of research at his apartment also. So, like, they could.
Where is his apartment?
I don't know. I've never been there, but I don't know. It's maybe in the school files or something. I don't know.
Faculty apartments or anything?
There's not specific faculty apartments, but like
Where
if
did
you
you get
look,
those VHS tapes?
if you look around
office.
this room, there's
Do the
like
security office would
magazines and
have
stuff addressed to him,
faculty
There's-
addresses?
and like you have access to
It's
the
worth a
school
shot.
files. You
Here,
can just
let me
like
We should find that out.
They're making this big plan, and like Jen's or Riley's like, it's right here. It's on this magazine.
right. Yeah. This is like he has personal mail here sent to his
yes.
home. He has there's the school files she has access to. You can get his address.
We
if
can
you
just
want.
MapQuest it.
Yeah, just MapQuest it. Yeah.
Go into MapQuest and type
Right.
in
Yeah.
Professor
MapQuest.com.
Stanford's.
A real
Yeah,
website everyone
so
uses
we
now.
are in the early
Quest.
2000s, late 90s. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. So you can get it.
We do
Okay.
it. We do it.
All right.
we get the
yeah.
address.
Are you heading out then?
I think that we should go. I think we should leave my thready friend here in a closet and go to this apartment.
I'm gonna put him in a filing cabinet, actually, just like a really long one.
I like the idea that you have a filing cabinet in your office, and,
That's
and you're
totally
like,
empty.
and you're like, I'm gonna put him in here. I'm like, isn't it full of files? Oh no, No, it's entirely empty.
All the files are just on
In
like
stacks,
everywhere else,
yes.
and I'm just like, yeah, no, it's empty. I just when you're doing research, you never like
you get it all out.
you have to have it
Genuinely,
all
I've
out.
been in a lot of professors' offices that are that. Like I've been in.
We just like shove it in, like cram it in, lock
The empty
it.
filing cabinet is a
open
little
the
bit
filing cabinet,
unrealistic.
and there's a nice layer of soil with various plants growing out of it, and you're like, oh, don't worry about that.
So as
Yeah,
The other drawer's full of files from like
as you move
1972.
to leave, the string that is holding together the bagmen in the room starts unraveling
Oh no.
and starts snaking along the floor down the hallway.
Oh, I want to follow it. I want to like.
We're going to stop right there,
Okay.
and that's where the session will end.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Slithering little bagman.
Yep.
All right.
Slithering away.
Well, not the bagman, just a string.
Yep.
Which we've already, which the both of us have figured out is the important part.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're gonna follow that string.
Why did you put him in the closet so he would be hanging or dangling by a thread?
No, we could have, but
No,
we
that's
couldn't.
All right.
Right there.
That's-
Thank you, everybody. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this issue of Sentinel Comics, the role-playing game. If you want the next issue, click right here. If you want to see the GM prep, if you just can't wait to see what happens, if you're impatient, click right here. Maybe you already spoiled it for yourself, but that's where it is. Bye.